And there we are. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Unusual stream day today. And before we get going, I'm going to just jump right into the stream setup here for today's stream. As you can see, we have a guest with us today. Bradley, as aka Mr. Pockets. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to the stream.
Good, appreciate it. Glad to be back. We waited a few months for this since the last opening, so
It's
definitely look forward to
been
this every time we get a new set.
It feels such a long time ago, but I'm very glad that we were able to set it up. Yeah, we are here to open up some boxes of high seas, and like we like to do, we're not just going to open them. We have a bit of a game behind it, a drinking game, more precisely. So what's going to happen for everyone that may be new to the stream is we're going to open up packs at the same time, and whoever gets the highest rarity needs to drink. Also, for the first time this time around, whoever gets that also gets to ask the other person a question. So hopefully that'll be a good time, and thank you for that idea as well. Should be a lot of fun. So, you've opened up a lot of product, right? So before we get in, how have your hits been so far?
Yeah. I think a lot of people who's opened up enough products so far, that's been watching the market. The pools have been fairly inconsistent, so the pools have been missing sometimes. So I opened up about 10 cases,
Yeah.
and from the 10 cases I opened. What are some stuff I was missing? I was missing like a golden tip. I've only pulled 2 golden tips. I pulled 1 Midas. I pulled no Jolly Bludgers, which is
Oh,
weird. Well, 1 Rainbow Foil, but no non-foil Jollies. 2 Whalers. Amulets we found out that are kind of a low pull rate, but it's been very inconsistent. So compared to every other set I've opened, even just with 10 cases, it's very inconsistent. Now the pulls, I would say I'm about even. Thankfully, some of the cards I got from the treasure packs definitely made up for it. But the fact that after opening 10 cases, I'm still missing a lot of Majestics. And not even that. There was some, what was it? What was the one that stuck out? It was Murderous Rabble. Out 10 cases, Murderous Rabbles are rare. I think I pulled like 12 or 13 Murderous Rabbles out of
okay.
10 cases, which is so
Yeah.
weird. So it's a Murderous Rabble, a case,
Yeah.
which is such a weird number. So, like I said, there was some other people in the tri-state that also opened, and they experienced a lot of the same things. He was asking me for stuff that he was missing. I think he still needed a playset at Golden Tips, which seems like that was
Wow.
short printed. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
inconsistency across the board. So it wasn't just me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Of course, when you go live online, you always just see like the big hits, right? People opening the cracked cases, and you think, "Hey, where's mine?" But yeah, that's sadly not always the experience. How have your
Yeah,
gold packs been so far? Um,
uh, so because I had the 10 cases, I had 40 packs.
yes.
The first half was good. I started very strong. I end up what were the big ones? Like I got 3 death threads, which were awesome. I think I got a Golfin Harpoon. What else stuck out? I got a lot of, even though they didn't give me Murderous Rebels in the cases, got a little golden Murderous Rebels. I think I got 5 or 6 golden Murderous Rebels, which was great. But then the second half was just all poo poo. It wasn't good. I don't think I think maybe I got a cold foil common, but nothing else that really stuck out from the second half. So the first 20 was good. The second 20 gold packs were just
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, there's some real misses in there as well, right? So I got a golden tipple, a blue. I think that's playable, so that's good.
Yeah, let me
Pilver
grab mine. Let me see
Direct,
what I got.
Pilver Direct, which is I think nothing. And I just realized the Tip the Barkeep is actually extended art. I don't know if that's normal. Yes, Doc. Yes, we're cracking packs today. That's 2 boxes, asking questions, drinking alcohol, I'm doing stuff that hopefully will not get me banned from Twitch or YouTube, but we'll figure it out as we go. Yaku, how are you doing? Welcome to stream. Arg, indeed. This is my my Temu pirate outfit that I wore once for UKG, and it's like I gotta get more use out of it. The bad thing is Polly back here on the chair, not stair.
It's he's been nicknamed Stupid Sexy Scowling.
Exactly. Uh, so
Oh yeah, one thing.
is the tip to
Yeah, sorry.
barkeep in the treasure pack always EA?
I believe so.
Okay.
So I believe
Ooh.
the Majestics that can be golden are EA because Loan Shark's EA as well. So I assume the other
Ah.
Majestics you can pull are also EA.
Hmm. I will already want to grab like my grog that I made. So I got some rum because I don't have rum. And then I was like,
Mm.
hey, let's make grog, which is basically just brown sugar, lime juice, ice, and rum, right? So I was already reaching for. It's like, no, let's slow down. Let's start with water here. Let's take it easy.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right.
mine's a combination of the two. I told you earlier that when I was opening up my cases last weekend, I had a 6-pack I planned to save for the stream, and I ended up drinking it while I was opening the cases. So I went
Impatient.
back out. I did get more, so I got some more blue moons for the lighter stuff, and
Nice.
not heavier. I'm not a 80 proof guy. I'm getting older. I can't do 80 proofs anymore. So I have a nice coconut cream. It's actually a moonshine. So I
I
usually do
was
a
gonna
coconut
say,
rum.
weren't you drinking moonshine the last time? Yeah, you were. I'm pretty sure you
Maybe.
did.
It was
Yeah.
probably banana cream, yeah. It's the old smoky moonshines. They have these different cream moonshines, which are they're so good. But I haven't had this one. This one's a coconut moonshine, so I'm excited for this one. Now, I don't quick question, before we get into it.
Yes.
Just so I have a live feed, just so I can properly react to yourself. If you share your screen on Discord, will that interfere with anything? If not, that way I
I
can have
don't
a live.
think it should. It hasn't in the past, so let me just
Yeah,
try and get that shared.
yeah.
Share. But my screen sharing won't do anything because it's a different camera.
Is it? Okay.
That won't do anything. Yeah. Because usually when share my screen will show you the game that I play, right? But because I'm feeding... Wait, actually, can I...
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
so. Cause we did it last time. I remember we did that. We had the same exact scenario at the beginning of the stream. I realized, oh, there's like a 10-second delay for us opening stuff. So I think you did something to share so I can see your live.
Maybe if I share
Oh,
this, that's pretty
yep,
live.
that's live. Yep, I think that's what
All
you
right.
did. Perfect. All right, I can
Let
do that and I can
let me just
respond to that.
maximize that screen state there a little bit, and then yeah, that's all I can do.
That's fine.
Behind the scenes, getting all my trade secrets. Stock. What do you mean? Only just 5 p.m. It's just like midday or not even yet on Mr. Pocket's side here. So you know.
Yeah, 12 p.m. drinking. That's where we're at right now.
All
We're
right.
having our lunch cream.
All right. Let's get into it.
Ooh, well, that's
Let's
really
not
good.
dilly dally. So, do you want to do like the gold packs at the end, or do we want to
I'm
do one?
fine.
Hmm.
Do you want to do? I think split it up. Do you want to do a gold pack at the beginning of the box or at the end of the box? If we do at the end of the box, because like I was saying,
Let's
and
do it
I'll
at the end of
briefly
each
go.
box.
I like that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for those that are listening, it's very simple rules. We're not doing this very elaborate pack war. If you lose, take a drink. It's very simple. We're just going to open packs. When someone opens up a majestic, you win and you get to ask the other person a question. Very simple. If we tie, then we both basically get to ask a question. So there's gonna be more questions and less questions in this format. And when we get to the gold pack, we'll open up the gold packs. Regardless who gets what, we'll just both ask the question. So every time you see a person with a majestic or higher, they'll be asking the question. Very simple.
Yes. Yes. Everything will be laid bare today. All
There
right.
are some. There are some. I will keep it PG-13. I will keep it. Everything I did, I believe. So I did say earlier, most of my questions are, like flesh and blood related. They are technically flesh and blood related. There's maybe some stuff I may ask about, like your streaming career. I think there's some things I was asking about, like other content. So may ask something like that, but it's all flesh and blood related.
That sounds good to me. Hey Mitch, how you doing? What's that epic battle? It's gonna be me pulling back cards and Pockets pulling cook cards if we go according to history. It's usually how it works. All right, first pack. Let's see if we get the heat here right out of the gate.
And
Gonna
statistically, because you and I both confirmed that these last two boxes were from a sealed case. Statistically,
yes.
we should get a marble case, so there's a very likely chance both of us will be pulling a marble in these two boxes.
Let's see. Maybe it's gonna be pack one and then dot from there. All right. Just going through
Oh,
it. I'm
starting
getting.
off strong. There we go. Starting off with the chum already. I like that.
Hey!
There you go. Oh my god, you beat it! No! Literally first Pac-Man. Look. Alright, you know what?
Oh
It's
my
just
god, this is my best hit of the set so far.
alright, I'm gonna say it. Screw you. Literally, you just stole
Boom!
my question there. Damn. That's good. God, good shit, man.
Oh, Conquer of the High Seas. Let's go. Does this come in non-foil as well, or are they all
It
rainbow foil?
does. That nope. It comes in monofoil. You got the You got the better one. So that is your rainbow foil majestic for the box. So that's really good.
All right, let's go. All right, into it. Right, my first question today. Wait, yes, the winner gets to the winner drinks.
Yep. You since you
Cheers.
won. Cheer. Yep.
Mm, give me that grog. All right, right. Let's I don't know where to start. I'm just gonna start at the top of the list. 25 years from now, so let's imagine Flesh and Blood is gonna have a 30-year anniversary like Magic the Gathering. What's going to be the most expensive card?
30 years from so the 30th year anniversary. What's gonna be the most expensive card? I'm going to. No, LSS is really good at not power creeping, but we're starting to see not a power creep, but definitely a shift in kind of perspective of the cards. So I'm wondering if what's gonna be an assassin card. It's gonna be an assassin card, or it's gonna be well, let's assume a new class. Thief is around. You know what? Let's say Thief is an actual class 30 years from now. It's gonna be some type of attack reaction Thief where it's gonna give a blue +5 on hit. Reveal the top card of the opponent's deck, and look at the opponent's hand. Choose one card from the top of the deck or their hand, and steal it for the turn.
It sounds absolutely fucking broken.
All right, that's gonna
Sure.
be the big card. That's gonna be the
All
big
right.
card. It can't I can't just default to generic. It has to be an assassin
No,
card,
yeah,
right?
it has to be something, all right? All right. Next pack.
Yep.
So, actually, let me put that there. Do we have the same card at the top? We have exactly the same card.
Is it? No, I have blue angry. You have a jittery, I
Oh
think,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's just because it's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
blue.
yeah. It's
All
all
right.
blue.
All blue. Scar for scar. Love the reprint. And then rare, and just a blue foil common.
Yep. Just a no majestic for me. So we got nothing. So we ask questions when we get majestic. So if it's just foil
Yes.
rare or something else, doesn't matter. You can take drinks whenever you want to. So I will be drinking.
Yes. I mean, if I'm not
Just like
drunk by the end of the stream, then I don't know what we're doing here.
that. You're not a good pirate, man.
Yes, exactly. I'd be a pirate.
Be a
I'm a
sexy
bad
pirate.
pirate. All right, cool. Let's go through this. I think we can go pretty quickly here. Oh, am I
Yeah.
seeing something here? No.
Oh,
Just
I got
scope.
something.
Oh.
It's a majestic of some sort, but it's an expansion. Could be a rainbow foil. No, arcane compliance though. There we go.
Ah, well, that's better because the only thing I have for rare, but copper cocked, I think that's pretty good. All right, ask away. What do you
All
want to
right,
know?
questions. Let me pull up my sheet. I keep thinking my mouse is here. I'll put my mouse back over here. Keep wanting to reach for it.
Hey, Deviled. Yes, pockets indeed is a legend. Indeed, how you doing
All right.
today, Deviled?
I got my category. So this is personal flesh and blood. So tell me about your first deck. What hero did you start with and why? I don't want to assume it's a brute. I actually never asked, but what was your first deck? Where did you
So,
start and why?
um, so I went to the UK Board Game Expo in I don't know, it was 2020 or I think it was 2021, and I tested Flesh and Blood at the booth. It was a community-led booth. It was LSS didn't care, Sorry, LSS, you didn't care. You weren't there. It was a community, UK community that got a booth by themselves. Um, and I sat down and I played the Iris starter decks, and I really loved the game. So we went to go find some product somewhere around the Board Game Expo. And the first shop that we happened upon had a Monarch box and some starter decks. So we got a Monarch box and the Levia deck and the Bolton deck. And my partner and I, we started playing, and I played Levia, and she played Bolton, and she won every single game. And I was like, is this hero bad or am I bad? And it's a bit of both. So it was actually a brute. And then because I started playing with Levi, and that was basically my first hero, I bought a box of Welcome to Wraith, and then there was Reiner in there. So because like I know the heroes, I immediately jumped into Reiner from there. So that's how that came together. And I'm still trying today if I can make Reiner or Brute happen for nationals. This I don't know about that, but yeah. All right, next pack. Let's go. And do we get the sauce? Rare. Oh.
Oh my god, are you serious? Whoa! All right.
Oh my
First of all,
god.
I'm gonna congratulations.
Oh my god.
That is hard to pull. So I opened 10 cases. I was lucky to
Oh
get
my
one. I did
god.
get one in my 10 cases, and that is extremely rare. They are. So I usually follow TCG Player to get an idea what the market looks like. I check Purple Chat. They are extremely short printed. They have to be short printed because I don't see them anywhere. And I think right now I'm checking TCG Player right now. TCG Player, they're going for $380 to
Oh
$400.
my god. Oh my.
And there's only 7 on TCG Player right now. And I
That is
don't see any of them
insane.
that's on purple. Yeah, that's a huge pull.
Oh
Good shit, man. Holy cow.
Well, that makes up for a lot because I haven't opened up anything good in like months on stream. Oh my god. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
like
So quick math that those 2 packs right there, Conquer and Riches, that covers your entire case. Or for Marketplace. That covers the entire case. Like good
Mhm.
shit, man. Holy shit. All right, you get to ask 2 questions from that. I don't give a shit. You get to ask me 2 questions.
All right.
And then you beat my
Wow.
Majestics. I had a Majestic deny, but good shit,
Wow.
man.
And the thing is, Nationals is up in 2 weeks here in the UK, so right, this will be so easy to sell. I'm not
Yeah.
keeping this. I'm selling this straight.
If
Guys, if you're here in
yeah.
the UK and you want it, hit me up.
I was gonna say shoot, you should probably keep it, but it's a lot of money, so you definitely make your money's worth. I'm holding on to mine because it is a generic. They haven't made generic Fable in a long time. The only ones that exist,
True.
yeah, the only ones it's Heart, Eye of Ophidia, and Riches. Those are the only 3.
I just Duck, I'm not gonna pivot to Kasai. I'm never gonna play a warrior. Mark my words.
Yeah, if you don't plan to play Gravy or Kasai, I mean, it can probably show some cases. Sadly, Olympia doesn't like it. Olympia really doesn't like it. I would just see if you're planning to sell or use it, I would just sell it while it's. I think it's going to go up though. I think people are going to slowly buy more. Maybe it'll even go up to 500, but don't be greedy. It's 380, 400 here, so you have
I
to check
mean,
your prices there.
it's so much money, right? It's like
It
honestly,
is.
yeah. I'll think about it. I'm gonna let it sink in. But holy shit, these what it was like 4 packs so far. My god. All right. So
Freaking
I have
Pirate steal my luck. What's wrong with you?
this
Stealing all my
question
luck.
actually is on my list. So playable fables. We're looking at it right now. This is why I have the questions, right? So you said 300 something. I put down 250. So what's your thoughts on this? Because apparently they increased the chance of this being pulled by 25%. So it's not like it was short printed or anything. They actually increased the drop rate for this. But still, like Gravy and Kasai need it. So should this be a thing?
So, and I'm curious, so the statistic, did LSS state or did Brian state these are slightly printed more? Where was that
Yes.
statistic from? Okay,
Yeah, it
interesting.
was
So,
one
huh,
of the devs posted it somewhere. I have a I have a screenshot I can send you somewhere. I'm not gonna find it now, but yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah,
did
no, I
say.
believe you. So if there's a 25% increase print, it's interesting. So we probably don't see that many because people are holding into their single copy because, like I said, it's a
Yeah,
generic.
yeah, yeah.
So it is since Arcane Rising.
Yeah.
This is the first. This is the next generic Fable that they printed. So they obviously, since the first two WTR and Arcane Rising, they didn't want to do generic Fables because they are, everyone has to use them.
Yeah.
So the fact that they decided to print another generic Fable is it's interesting because every class can utilize gold. I mean, some are going to utilize it better. It's really hard to say because now what this Fable does too is if you have other classes that are very goal focused, I use like Victor. Like Victor loves
Yeah.
this. This is
Yeah, of
just this is
course.
a free
So good.
yeah, this is a free card for Victor and a free card for Kasai. So now I'm hoping what this doesn't do, it doesn't kind of hinder some design in the future. I don't think it
Yeah.
will. Just my initial thought is it doesn't, because that's why they did part of the CYB ban. I don't know how much of it is true. Brian Gottlieb did make a comment about CYB. They always had to do a CYB check during their design, but it's a fairly new card. Just came out in Rosetta. It's only been now a few sets, so maybe since Rosetta to now, they've had to always do when they create designs for new cars to say, oh, it has to pass the CYB check. Does it pass CYB check? I used to do QA testing for
Yeah.
video games for a few years, so I understand when there's something that's just can break stuff, you always have to like
Yeah.
check it with like this list. So I'm hoping Riches doesn't have to get checked because it is a generic. Um, but what I don't like is it is a Fable, and even though if it is a 25% increase, it's a 25% increase to a Fable, and I don't know. Don't quote me
Yeah.
on the numbers, but maybe I have to look at the website. The Fable could be like one in every 12 cases or 10 cases. Well, now it's one in every like 8 cases. One in every 8 cases for a generic Fable is still obscenely hard when everyone wants to keep it. Things like
Yeah. 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 That's it.
the
Yep.
Amphable is easier to get because not everyone's playing Wizard, but everyone
Yeah.
is playing something that can use a generic, so that way it becomes much more expensive. Maybe it should have been 50%. Looking at the market now,
Yeah.
because people are not selling them, they're holding on to them. I don't like it. I mean, I'm happy I have one for my gravy deck,
It's
but
it's great for collectors, right? But it's not great for players, especially if you play Victor, Kasai, Gravy, and you kind of feel like you needed to play your hero at the top level. And if you're playing Flesh and Blood, you want to play your hero at the top level, right? So it sucks that you then need this card to feel like you can actually compete, which is
yeah, and even quoting the generic fables, even the I have a video. I've had one in my collection. I've never used it, and think like maybe a month and a half ago, that was going for like 350.
Yeah.
That's now between 550 to six hundred
Oh wow.
dollars because Gravy's using it. So now, if you want to play Gravy at the top
Ah.
level, you run Riches in that video. That is roughly $900, almost $1,000 in 2 cards if you want to
Yeah.
run both of those. So that's an expensive buy-in if
Yeah.
they are still in the main state for Gravy in the future.
Yeah, it's I think it's caused a lot of controversy, especially on Reddit the last few weekdays actually. A lot of discourse. But yeah, I mean of course he wants to play out of a video because he wants to opt all the time, right? He needs to know if those allies are at the top of the deck or not.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna ask the second question while we open the next pack. But this is gonna
sure.
be an easier one.
Okay.
Um, which hero is the best kisser?
Best kisser. Ooh, man, I can't just go with something generic. I gotta really give this some thought.
I'm a little
Uh,
quiet. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna tune it up a little bit. Let me know if this is better. I can
best
also,
kisser. Let me
yeah.
think.
Kaden, let me know if it's better now. You good? Next pack.
Yep, I'm good. Yep, I'm on the rares right now. I
Definitely
can't just
Shiana,
say
Edmund.
I can't say new. Like new just seems
I
so
mean,
generic.
yeah, but it's like it's probably
Yeah.
alright.
I mean,
Oh,
it has. Ooh, nice. I think I got Majestic too. Yep. Ooh, got a
you got
rainbow
one
foil
too.
though.
All
Yep.
right, that is better. This is my
Sunken
fourth
treasure.
King Shark Harpoon. I'm just getting them all over the place. Better now, Kaden. Thank you. Like, keep me updated how it is. Wow, wow, 5 packs. My God, what are these hits? All right. Yeah, new would be the natural one. Gianna, I like that one. She can morph into anything, right?
Yeah, I wanted to even say I was going to go with like an odd answer and say maybe it's like Arachne Marionette because you get like 7 different kissers and then you can always speak to your style.
True.
No,
Yeah.
it has to be new though. If I had to be honest, new. If it's not new, it has to be Marionette.
Yeah, fair. Fair. Fair.
Um, hmm.
By the way, Carl, yeah, maybe good in Aurora and also Ducklord. Maybe good in Merchant. It could be a good. Riches is going to be good in Merchant. That maybe doesn't make Merchant good, but it'll make him interesting. All right.
So here's this is more like strategy and gameplay. Here's a simple one. So how do you approach learning a new hero or class? I'm glad you left. Yeah, I'll give you time to think about it.
I hit my head against the wall until it works.
Just
um, honestly, try. I just play it until it clicks. I get a list. I try to understand what the power turns look like and what it tries to do, and then I watch a couple of games like high level deck techs or good people playing it. But honestly, if I would say there's a lot of strategy behind it, then it's no, no. Which may explain why my skill is where it is because it's not really a strategic approach.
I think
Yeah.
your skill's fine. You're an entertainer and someone that's trying to learn the game too. So I think your practice is split down the line. But I think when you're a little more serious, you like to gravitate to a certain game style. Like for me, I have a hard time complicated heroes. Yeah, I'll start opening.
Yeah,
Heroes
yeah.
for me, like I love Gravy's design. Gravy's hard. I think it's just my
I
warrior
hear.
brain just
Yeah.
wants to be very simple. But Gravy's way too hard for me.
Mark my word, they will make a merchant versus thief set. They could. That would be fun, actually. That could be very fun. All right. Rare, rare, and the foil. No, never mind. Expansion slot majestic.
Nice. Yep, I got nothing there.
A deny redemption. But this is not playable because they banned CYB, right?
It's not
Well,
playable because I think it's because it's a 3 attack, 3 block. It can deal 1 damage, but it has to attack a hero that has more health than you. So so 2 things. It's good in Vinset, but it doesn't replace anything. Yeah, that's right. You show it off.
no, Dot just came into chance like, wait, I missed the Conqueror and the Riches? Like, yeah, dude. Should
You
have been
didn't
on
just miss a
time.
conquer and a wrenches. Pack 1, Rainbow Fool conquer. Pack 2, kicked his butt. Pack 3, he whipped my ass with the riches. 3 packs in, and he already made up for his entire case. It's
Oh
ridiculous.
my god. Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta get lucky someday.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Oh yeah, deny redemption. Maybe it has some play in Vincent because it can stop him from gaining. I don't know. Oh no, heroes can't gain, so it affects you. No, you don't want this in Vincent. So my general theory on this is this goes back to Monarch 3. Monarch 3 is going to be a thing
Yeah,
someday, guys.
yeah,
And
yeah.
my hopes is Cleric class will be a thing. They said there's only going to be a class for this year, which is Necromancer. They never said that they're not going to reveal a new hero for next year. So if Monarch 3 comes out, I would love to see a Cleric. If healing is a
Yeah.
thing that becomes more of a fatigue style, Deny Redemption does stop that for a turn. So this can be relevant if like cleric or life gain is actually a thing in the future.
Wait. I didn't catch on. Did we actually open this at the same time?
Yeah. Are you talking about
Okay.
the
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no
yeah. I
no no
didn't.
no 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 Deny Redemption, you sniped it
Okay. Wait.
during the riches. I opened nothing for that pack.
Ah,
You
okay,
opened the
okay, okay.
deny.
I got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, the
All right. I
prior
need
pack
to
was a
drink.
sunken. I opened
You
nothing.
didn't have anything in this pack though, right?
No, I had nothing.
Mm-hmm. All right. More grog for me. Easy one. Favorite set to open.
Favorite set to open. Honestly, probably Miss Vale.
All right. Yeah.
I think
There's
Miss Vale.
some
Miss
really
Vale, I
beautiful
love the
cards in that.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love I think the one that kind of stuck out when I opened up the Sacred Art Marvel for new, was it like Alluring Desire? Oh, it's I'm kind of upset I sold it, but it's just such a beautiful card to see in person. I love the art of that. And actually, I'm going to go back once new LLs. I got nothing from that pack.
Yeah, me neither.
Once I go back and try to buy stuff, because I'm pretty sure Mistveil Heroes will come back again. So I want to buy out all the Mistveil Chi Marbles just to have for my collection. I'm going to wait till new LLs once the price drops.
And I think the part Misfell is good as well because you have the gold packs in there as well, right? Which is
Yeah, which is still a
rare,
chance to get something very
rare,
spicy.
foil, common. Nothing here.
Yeah,
No,
nothing
I
there.
love part of Misfell as well. Mine, to be honest, though, is Everfest. I don't know why, but I just love Everfest. I can't get enough of Everfest. I ordered another
Is it
box.
just is it just because the art, the pulls, like what makes it interesting to you?
It just feels like every card you pull is playable, which is
Mhm.
insane. Yeah. Okay, so we go rare. Oh, majestic.
Nice.
Oh,
I got
double
nothing.
majestic pack.
Nice. And a Jolly
Eh,
Roger, like, is that non-foil Jolly Roger?
yes,
Yeah,
Jolly Bludger and Never
or
Bloom.
Bludger, yeah. Jolly Bludger, you're right. Yeah, out of 10 cases, I did not open a single non-foil
Oh,
Jolly Bludger.
really?
Yeah, not a single one. I one rainbow foil, but not a single non-foil. It's crazy.
Doc, you opened up 2 boxes of Everfest, dude. Like, so two had them like at £30. It was insane, like so cheap, In- incredibly cheap. Dot, I think Cleric is on its way because the Brigo has specifically said, who's Brigo? Oh, Brian. Okay, specifically said that CYB was oppressive and generic, but could be reasonable put into a class specifically mentioned Verdants and Cleric. Oh, well, there we go. Maybe it was
Hmm.
spoiled. And
Good.
Devil from earlier on, sorry, just $1,000 in 2 cards really crushes my gravy dreams, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Okay. I mean, you do you. I wouldn't, but yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
just
pal.
forfeit the riches if you really need. Well, I have a video. I have video so good though.
Mm.
Yeah, just don't play them because give you a little hope. We don't know where Gravy officially is. Like, this is not the complete Gravy list. This is the play-in and
Yeah, yeah,
nationals deck list. There's already some go wide, go again Gravy decks being experimented with, and I don't think they run either. So, like it runs like the Sea Waters, Jittery, whatever, not Angry, but whatever one gives a go again. So it runs a lot of those to get free resource and go wide. I don't know the full deck list, but like it's not set in stone. So if you have it, like I was saying, you can probably sell the riches if you're never really not gonna play it, sell it while it's high, and maybe go again. Gravy becomes a meta in a few months because the numbers just are much better. And I don't think those two cards will stick around because Gravy doesn't need them if they're not if it's a go again Gravy.
yeah. Well, I think we haven't seen Gravy's final form yet.
Yep. All right.
We'll
You won that one, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What you got for me?
So, I want to ask a quick question so we can open some more packs. Hmm. If you could delete the hero from the game forever, which one and why? Hey, Burst. Yeah, I got some good packs, dude. Conqueror of the High Seas, Rainbow Foil, and Riches. Dude, it's been going well. Puffins are really low on it right now.
I would say
Oh.
this may be an odd answer, but honestly, I think Reinar. And the
Leave
reason
Reiner
why,
alone. Yeah,
the
tell me.
reason why is Intimidate, and I think you can agree to this.
Yeah, yeah,
Intimidate is a bad mechanic when it's poorly supported. If
yes,
Intimidate is more supported, it would be obscenely strong and maybe borderline toxic because it kind of
yes.
falls into that I just can't do anything. So if they just delete Reiner for the game, redesign Reiner with a different mechanic, I think it will bring a more interesting like Reiner back. And they just recreate Reiner, get rid of Reiner, bring him back, and just fix his text box to do something different. Maybe that would just bring a better Brute to the game. But I feel like Brute just needs a better thing other than discard 6 or more and then get something. Intimidate just becomes
Yeah.
too weak or too strong. There's no middle ground for the design.
No, I agree. I agree. No objections. As much as I love him, I just like the aspect of it's always exciting to play him, but I agree with your assessment. It's just like they have to be careful because it's either too weak or too strong.
Do you like
Rare.
Reiner because of the Intimidate, or do you like Reiner because of other parts of Reiner?
I've never actually thought about it. He's just fun to play.
Mhm.
I don't think it's necessarily intimidate. I think it's to kick off
The
the
high,
randomness. Yeah, it's like it's the
yeah,
high roll. It's like it's the gambling, right? You
yeah,
hit. I got nothing there. Um, you,
yeah. I
you
got
you
nothing.
get that high of gambling, and it's just like it feels so good when you high roll.
Yeah. So create a more not maybe a little more in your favor, not just like a 50-50, but something that involves a little more gambling, but doesn't have to involve intimidate. Ooh, nice. There's a marble here.
Oh, oh, oh!
Yeah. I
All
saw a triangle,
right.
so hold on.
Oh, hold on,
Let's
hold
see what the
on.
back is first. The back, okay, the back is blank, which means it's
Oh,
an ally, I believe. I think allies are the only ones that are one-sided. So we get a scuba.
doggy, bork, bork,
Wolf wolf. Bork bork.
Scooby Doo.
All right, well that's
Very
gonna be my
nice.
marble for the stream. You still got one somewhere, unless I don't think Riches takes up the marble slot, so I think you're fine. Let's see. Let me pick one.
The only answer is Starvodot. I mean, the thing is, I don't really care about LLs. I wouldn't know, but I do hear it's been pretty good in LL.
So this
Yeah.
one's talking about community and competitive events. So how do you
Yes.
think LSS has handled the growth of the organization and competitive events?
I think well overall, considering that they're coming from nothing, I think they're doing a really good job. There are aspects which are questionable. In my opinion, they like to rely too much on partners that they know can get the job done. And then those partners get very comfortable and start, doing questionable things. Right. So I think, in the US, it's mainly SCG or whatever they're called, SGC. I don't know.
Mhm.
And in the UK and Europe, it's Living Realms. And while they do a good job, I think it would be good to work with more different companies to give different companies a job to do better, right? If you have a monopoly, you don't really have a lot of incentive to do better over time.
Yeah, it gives a different opinions on the two. I kind of agree on that. Gives different opinions on two. If you have an idea or mindset from someone that you communicate with just in the US, having a second opinion
Yeah.
on board with LSS definitely will not just not monopolize the events, but also can expand on the different ideas. Because I'm a strong believer on conflict creates growth in a lot of things, and
Yeah.
if you don't have a lot of conflict or debates or arguments on something, it's either because it's perfect, which it never is,
No.
or they're just lazy.
Yeah.
So I know they're not lazy. I know they have good
Yeah.
intentions with the game. So it's just the fact that you don't have a lot of um, advisors on how to do things. So I would definitely like to see that part expand too. I agree with that.
All in all, I do think they're doing a good job, and I think especially their streaming is bar none the best I see of any competitive TCG out there.
Mhm.
Which is probably down to Savage Feats and the team, which are doing an awesome job. We'll see where it goes. As Burst just said, I think having nationals on release day was very, very questionable, and I don't think they should ever do that again. But
Yes.
we don't know what led to that, right? We don't know what created that date. It may have been that just it didn't work any other way because they couldn't get the location in Vegas on any other dates. It could be that the release date moved back because the printer couldn't do like a couple of weeks earlier. Who knows, right? It could be that they didn't want this. It just had to happen that way.
Yeah, and that's hard for me to say because TLDR, I've only been collecting since Dusk Till Dawn. I've only been really playing since Bright Lights, and I have a lot of trust analysis. Whatever they do, I have a trust, 100% what they do. But the one thing I definitely question on top of that is why are these releases on the same weekend as a major or at least a big event? Because we had
Yeah,
the last two from what I've witnessed and experienced was the Hunted being in Memphis, Tennessee, which I was there in person, and looking at the most recent match, which was High Seas. The problem with getting cards, and this is maybe just the storm of everything that's come happen at the same time. Maybe if we didn't have allocation issues and we had prints actually going successfully, then maybe having these events during nationals and like Memphis, Tennessee was not as bad. But because we've had allocation print issues in the last two
Yeah.
sets on a major
Yeah.
event being that weekend, maybe it's just a storm of everything. So just my limited knowledge and experience. Maybe if those issues are fixed, maybe having the prints during the weekend of another big event is not as bad, but that's just me looking at just from those last two sets.
The thing is, you never know if distribution is going to have an issue, right? You never know if your supply chain breaks down. So even if you don't have supply issues, you just don't know if there's going to be, some issue that you can't control. It's just like, it feels like poor timing, to be honest. But,
Yeah.
all in all, they're doing a great job, in my opinion.
Yeah. I support LSS and whatever they do, so I'm happy. That's why I'm staying with it. That's why I'm not in.
Yeah.
I still have Commander decks, which are sitting up there, but I haven't really played Commander since Flesh and Blood, because I love the community, I love the game, I love LSS. I trust LSS and what they do.
All right, let's go next pack here. And first set, you're not that long in the game, pretty young to the game. That is true. That's true. Crush Down the Gates. This is not a good card per se for money, but it's really good in limited. I love this card. Yeah, I have a foil common. Do you have anything spicy?
No, just Rainbow Foil common. Yeah, I'm fairly new, just Bright Light, so definitely went hard into the game, but I enjoy it because most of my efforts is to try to support the tri-state as much as I can while still being able to play the game. So I thoroughly enjoy this game in the community. There's a Majestic.
Rare. Common foil.
Cogworks Workshop.
Nothing there.
Yep, just a Majestic Cogworks Workshop.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay.
Yep, there it is.
I was about to open my next pack. It's like, oh, no,
I heard it tearing. He's like,
yeah.
All right. This deals with your streaming and content.
Yes.
Not a deep question, but definitely I think one will be a good one to reflect on. So, what has been the biggest challenge as a fab content creator?
What has been the biggest challenge? I think, in my opinion, actually making Talishar games interesting to watch. Because I want to make content that I would watch myself, that I would be interested in watching, and I have to admit that I find it really hard watching somebody play games on Talishar myself. So I think if someone's just sitting there and focusing on the game and watching, playing it, then it's not very interesting to watch. So just making that entertaining, in my opinion, is probably the biggest challenge. And one of the things that I keep thinking about, and if I had more means, then I would try and do a lot more visually on the screen based on different cues, right? So what I would love to do is, like, when something in Talishar happens, that automatically triggers a GIF or a sound. So I don't have to control it manually. And if I don't have to control it manually, it would be much more of the... It would be like more like a video game. That's what I would like to do, but I just don't have the skills nor the means to do that. But I think that's the biggest challenge for the type of content that I make. Gotcha. And maybe as a close second, it's just like, making good content is hard. And it takes a lot of time. Like, I constantly make content that I would love to be a lot better. But if you're not like a professional editor, like, I can't pay somebody to edit my videos for me, right? Like, ideally I'd do that. But I don't have 5 cameras with 5 different angles. I don't have time to go shoot B-roll for 6 days and, somebody editing the video and the pacing and all that. So you need to be able to do everything yourself. And that's really hard. It's like, because you need to be able to be writing the script, you need to edit everything yourself, you shooting all but then it's a lot of fun, but if you want to do it properly, it's a lot.
I think just adding a small comment, I won't have a long answer, but I think there's another 2 comments. The first one is I don't the time that I've known you, I don't think you're a perfectionist, but you're a I want the best. I want to make sure people that are watching my stuff are is not wasting their time. Maybe I think that's a
Yeah.
feeling I got. So you put a lot more effort on, hey, if I want to do this, I don't want to forget my French half-ass it and just throw something out just so I can get clues, clicks, and views. I want people that are going to watch my stuff to, show that I enjoy this and I show that effort by the quality of the stuff I show. And I think that's like maybe as an artist perspective on it, where an artist is never 100%
Yeah.
happy with their own product. They always find flaws, but it never has. And maybe you also should do the not should, but maybe being light on someone's self that's doing content that has an artist perspective. It never has to be 100%. It just has to show that there was good intent and interest in the product, and it never has to be 100% to you. As long as the people enjoy it, well, they're watching it for a reason, and maybe it's just because of the person behind it, or maybe it's because they see the intent, they see the interest without it being perfect, because it's never going to be perfect in your eyes.
No.
It's never going to be perfect in someone's eyes, but it's going to be, the intent is good there. And if the intent is good, I think the product is good in the end.
Yeah.
And the
Like
second comment is Burst Flame. I think Burst Flame is the other struggler that you've had through your streams.
Yes, yes. Josh is a pain in my ass, but he likes to act all hard, but he's a real soft inside. So yeah,
Yeah, he
but
is.
Dot said as well, like Twitch chat, and I was like, no, like I have a great community. Like there's great people watching the stream, and everybody's so supportive. Like Twitch chat could be a real pain in the butt, but it's really not when I stream. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right, good. More. All right, I already have opened it because I thought you didn't have anything. Yeah, like it would be so easy to just put like a shitty video out that's good with a clickbait title, right? But I don't want people to click on the clickbait and then there's no content in there that's worth watching. So rare.
Got a Majestic.
Rare.
It's
Oh, again.
a Loan Shark. Actually, one that's short printed, I believe. This one's hard to find. It's going down a
Which?
little bit, but
Oh
these
yeah.
were. I think I've sold some of these for like $25, even $30.
Oh
These are really
nice.
hard to find, and I think there's someone local that needs this, so I'll probably hold on to that for them.
All right, I'm gonna drink anyway because.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Screw the rules.
Isima.
We're drinking. Let's see. Let's do a fun one.
Yes.
Here's a fun one. If you could create a new hero class, what would it be?
Oh my god.
And what would it be like? And it doesn't have to be very detailed. Make it as detailed as you like.
Like, I would really like a shaman class, and shaman I've been thinking about. I have this hot take that I think all necromancers are gonna be dual class. There's not gonna be just necromancer. It's the thing about necromancer. It's always gonna be dual class, all of them. So the next one that's gonna come out is going to be a brute necromancer that is a shaman. That's my and maybe with something would be cool. So like with blood magic, you take damage to do a thing. So instead of changing intimidate to getting rid of a card, you spend your life to do the thing. Right? And maybe you can heal yourself, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of there with the necro thought. So I don't know if there's the dual class with pirate was an interesting approach. So my first thought is maybe they'll do a dual class with other classes. I'm not saying like mech
Yeah.
root, for example, but just generally because since they had pirate. So maybe because looking at the set full release, maybe pirate was just a class because Scurv was a pirate. I mean, he's a pirate thief technically, but yes, I do see that possibility because then necro could be a thing. I see Burst and Duck were both saying Shadow Necromancer Monarch 3. That is possible if be with Shadow Necromancer. I do see that being a thing because the only true Necromancer cards we got from the set is Headstone and the Death Threads. That's the pure Necromancer.
Yeah.
Everything else is Necromancer
Yeah.
Pirate. So if they were going to have a pure Necromancer, like more Necromancer support, that would have to be more heavier into like Monarch 3 with Shadow Necromancer. I and I'm glad you said that. I think we talked about it too briefly. I think a Necromancer Brute, not just for the design, but because there are art cards already that exist, and there's already lore
Yes.
behind
Yes.
shamans and Necromancer
Exactly. Yeah.
Brutes that
Yeah.
already exist in lore. And for a design, Necromancer wants to get cards in the grave. Brute wants to discard cards 6 or higher. It's just the design already fits perfect in the two. And I can see if Necromancer Brute was a thing, just those two things that what both of the classes want to do, I think will be a very strong class. So I don't give up on Brute, man. If Brute Necromancer becomes a thing, I think that's gonna be a strong class.
I mean, honestly, I think next set we're gonna go to an island. I think it's gonna be very connected to the Gravy story, where they're gonna go to this jungle island, and there's gonna be brutes there, and
Yeah, I read that
probably
too.
pirates. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like pirate, brute, necro, and something else there, because pirate needs more support, necro needs more support, brute hasn't gotten any support for a long time. I think it would be pretty good. But well, I just remember before all of this, I actually quite like the idea of like a um I forgot like a beastmaster, like a brute that you can have
Kind of like a range,
animals
not the
like as
ranger part.
companions, kind of like what we
Yeah,
have now with Polly, right? But with like different animals, you can change them out, and you know we have a precedence for allies. Sorry, for companions now. So maybe.
that would be so cool. Yeah, so if you have my idea I've had for like I always go back to Olympia. Olympia just having like upgradable equipment in the inventory so you could use like visit the golden
Yeah,
anvil to equip equipment, but there's equipment that specifically states it cannot be in the deck but can be in the inventory, so you have to use like visit the golden anvil to equip those better equipment. And having companions as a maybe it's like a brute ranger. It could be brute necro, but just given the concept of companion, where you have like a companion, you have 6 different companions in your inventory, but depending on the matchup you're against, you choose a companion that best meets the matchup. Like that would be really cool to have like companions you can swap through, and this is your companion you have for this fight. That would be such a cool design. I would love
yeah.
that.
So just going to chat quickly. Dot vampire could be really cool. Werewolf as well. I don't think that will be. I don't think we'll see anything like that soon. Personally, dwarfs. You're right. I think we're gonna see dwarfs soon, but I don't think that's gonna be a class. I think that's just gonna be a race like flavor. Um, Brian said he didn't see brutes as pirates. Sigma. All right, so not. Well, he didn't say necromancers. And Chef Keaton, Reiner went to the arena in heavy hit just because he loved killing everything. If we find out that there's a brute necromancer who uses to slay enemies of Reiner's as allies and phantasm attacks, that could work. Yeah, that could work. That could work for real. Yeah. Um, you know what they haven't explored yet? Let's open up the next pack while we talk about this. Um, there is now precedence for equipment which gets stronger if you have the other piece of that equipment equipped as well, right? Arcanet Skullcap
The Arcanite, yep.
and
And
whatever the other is.
Arcanite, I always forget. Yeah, the chess piece.
Could be really cool if they explore this more and you can have like armor kits that get stronger. Ooh,
Nice.
as you equip more of it. They haven't really explored, and that would work well with your idea as well. All right, Celex. This is my
Yeah.
fourth Celex.
People are already supporting armor sets. So if like armor set bonuses where you have certain armors equipped and then you get more benefits out of it, I would love that, similar to the Arcanite set.
Do you want to see the hot pulls, Sigma? Here are the hot pulls. Literally pack 2 and 4.
1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Yep. Crazy. First 3 packs already made up for all of his cases.
Yeah, it's made up for all my boxes. Yeah, okay, I get to ask a question.
Yes, you do.
Right, I'm gonna ask a silly one. Which hero would be your drinking buddy, and who would be a nightmare at the pub?
Oh no. At the pub. Okay, so we're in the public space. That's very important because at home I can handle certain people. Um Reinhardt would actually seem like a very cool drinking buddy. Don't know why. He seems very chill. Like he's,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to be dealt with. That's why he sets up traps. He doesn't want to be bothered. It's like if you mess with me, you're just hurting yourself. Like leave me alone. I think he'll be a cool drinking buddy. Betsy would be a
Hmm.
trash to bring at the pub. I don't want to bring Betsy to the pub. Have you
Why?
seen her? She seems like she wants to be a menace. She just wants to show that she's the best. She wants to overpower everyone and constantly gambling. Like she has a gambling problem. She has a drinking problem. Like even her art, she just looks angry. She's happy in her heart, but she's angry towards everyone else. I wouldn't want to have her in the pub.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. But Doc brought out a good point. Ozilio would be a nightmare. He's like 200 feet tall.
Oh.
Yeah. Um. All right. Just guys, if I miss something, at me, right? Because it's hard to see today because I'm in a different setup. But if you want me to read something out, just at me. At me, rare, rare, and the foil.
No, I got nothing.
There. Not every. Did you get something? No.
No, I got nothing.
Why do I keep opening sea legs? I mean, I'm not sad about it because it's one of the most.
Sea legs in mind, the ones that have like a crap ton of it. Sea legs, cog in the machine, and was it Cogworks Workshop? I don't remember. Those three I seem like I had a lot of those. I still have a lot of cog in the machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing
But
there.
sea legs is really good for me.
Yeah, sea legs.
I got two rares.
Sea legs is a really good brute card. If brute becomes
Yeah.
better, sea legs is if brute becomes meta somehow. Sea legs is gonna definitely go up in price. Getting just a free action point. It's basically your scab skin without gambling.
Yeah. I like what Sigma said. Drunken Ryan will probably lose consciousness of his actions and go on a reckless rampage. I like it. All right. Next pack. Next pack.
Yep.
All right. We have a rare, and the foil common. Nothing for me.
Rare rainbow foil. Nothing.
Sigma with the dad jokes. I quite enjoyed that joke. I don't know if it's the rum I'm drinking, but I enjoyed that joke. I don't think Sigma I don't think you are a dad, right? Right. Where are you at? Cool. Rare foil.
Got nothing.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I got out of this box what I needed.
Oh yeah,
I don't even care what happens for the rest of the opening. I'm good.
You're good the first 3 packs, man. The pull rates, like I was saying before, I've noticed too that the Majestics are definitely at least my experience, a much lower pull rate. I think I bounce between there's a lot of boxes where I've gotten like 6, 7, 8 Majestics. It's not like the consistent 7, 8. So I think my average Majestic per box is 7. And there's actually one box I pulled 5 Majestics with a non-foil Majestic in it. It was really bad. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I had one box that like that as well. Wait, adult Puffin, yeah, but Puffin, like adult heroes are not Majestics anymore, right?
Copper. Which one? No,
Adult
all the adult
heroes,
heroes are
yeah.
tokens. No, they're more basics. They're basics now.
Why Scurf streaming? Stupid sexy Scurf? No, stupid sexy Scowling.
Yeah. Try to say that 5 times fast. I can't say.
Oh,
Oh my nether! I just got Majestic too, though. Sweet.
My Majestic is better.
Man. It is so much better. Screw you. double. I know. I'm happy for you. Double Conquer. I'm happy for you, man.
Oh wow!
Such a
What
good
a box! What a box!
But
So we
the
both
rules,
pulled one.
We both pulled one, so we both take a drink and relax. And we both get to ask each other a question. So
right.
since you got the better one, you can start the question. Also, little note: if you find any of the copper cocks or the rares, definitely put those aside. I've been trying to make sure people from my tri-state are getting them because they are short printed. And I've already sold like a dozen of them for like $2 to $3 each on TCG Player because people need them. So definitely keep these aside. People need the copper cocks.
Got it. So Codex has dropped 50% since the set released. Does this reprint approach with making Majestics legendaries work?
So I don't know if, and you can probably quote it. I don't know if they confirmed that the print rate of the codexes are higher, but so in my 10 cases, I pulled 6 codexes, 2 rainbow foil, 4 non-foil.
Yeah,
So it
well, that's
seems
pretty
like
good.
the
Yeah,
print, yeah, it seems like the print rate is much higher for these legendary pulls. Why? So the only thing my only assumption is that there is much more of these because I checked TCG Player. I don't know how many there are right now. I can actually check right now, but Codex. Last I checked, and the reason why I didn't sell my Codex initially is because I thought they were going to go up, but now looking at right now, they're still 50. They're even down to $47 TCG low. There's 10 pages of codexes. I think when I checked earlier this week, there were 8 or 7 pages, so it's gone up. So that tells me that there are plenty of them being printed. This could also
yeah,
be that case of this is a Assassin Ranger card. This is not a
yes,
generic card.
that's true.
CNC is a generic
Yeah,
card, so maybe class specific does factor difference in the cost. Because CNC was a generic, it retained and maintained its price because everyone needs a playset. Codex players, only Assassin Ranger players need a playset of these. So maybe there's that factor. I don't know if it's a higher print. I think it's a good idea though, because Codex was the price it was because there were not enough codexes to go around, and we approached the 5th year anniversary of a lot of new
yeah.
people that are coming to the game that also need their play sets and need their codexes. They were not available, so this created availability. I love it, not just as a seller but as a collector too, as someone that also plays the game. I think high demand cards should be reprinted, and obviously it doesn't drop in value, it just makes it reasonable. Sure, you're not selling your codexes for $90 now, but you're still selling them for $50. That's very reasonable for legendary. It's the second most
Yeah.
expensive legendary in the set still. The most still being Death Thread, still bouncing between 90 and 100. Every other legendary is already below like $50. I think the Ranger Sea Legs are below 50. Even the Cogworks is somewhere around $20. So it's a reasonable price, and I like it. I think more of these need to be done throughout each set,
Yes.
and I think LSS is going to, seeing the success of CNC and seeing the success of Codex. But when we start reprinting some of these Majestics, I think it's going to follow the Codex rule. That's going to maintain its price because people need their playset. Like Warmonger, I would love to see a Warmonger reprint. That's what I thought was going to happen in this set, but it didn't happen. If Warmonger got reprinted in whatever the next set is, I would love to see that to at least give people access to the card.
I was thinking E-Strike next. It's actually I had that as a follow-up question. Yeah, I think E-Strike for me, but yeah, Warmongers as well. Yeah, I think Warmongers is probably really good as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Warmonger's
like
still
I
bouncing around $70 too.
Warmonger should have been reprinted. It should, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, I I have this theory that is based on nothing. That some of the shortage of the Hunter came from the fact that the print quality from Belgium was really bad, and they actually just had to destroy some stuff. That
Mhm.
there was maybe some stock that was like, no, we can't put this out in the market. And they just had to destroy it. That's based on nothing, but like the quality of those cards coming from Belgium was bad. Like the marvels were really really bad. So I was like, maybe there's stock that just had to be destroyed. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, 3 more packs.
Yep. I'm going to ask my question while we're opening, so it's going to be a
Oh
quick
yeah,
one.
yeah. Sorry, you have a question,
Yeah,
of
it's
course.
okay. It's another fun one. So, what's one card you wish was more viable and competitive?
Bingo, bingo. I want to play
Oh,
bingo.
bingo. Yeah.
I want to play bingo.
That's right. What does that card do
I just
again?
want to play a card. It's like I just want to say bingo. I think it's like either go again or draw a card based off something happens. But it's like
Yeah, red, 1 cost, 5 attack, 3 block. When it hits a hero, they reveal a card from their hand. If it's an attack action reveal, it gets go again. If it's a non-attack reveal, you draw a card. Okay. Okay. I can see that.
I love bingo. I just want to play.
What
I just want to play it.
So while we open, what do you think would make it viable then? So if bingo, do you think it just has to have a better stat? Do you think it has to have more to it to make it viable?
I think it needs to be harder to block. If it had something that would make it harder to block to actually get it to trigger.
Gotcha. Kind
Uh,
of like either a exude confidence build in or like these
yes,
new mech get the instant like buff it somehow. Like
exactly.
fire if fire breathing was built into Bingo, I think that would make it a better card.
Yes. Just a common foil this time around.
Yeah, common rainbow foil, nothing.
Nothing.
We're down to 2 packs, right? This one and one more to your side.
Yes.
All right, cool.
I pulled 2 death threats first. That's good.
Damn. Very nice. Oh yeah, he sent me the pictures on that. It
Oh
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
double rainbow foil, right? No, was it double rainbow foil? I know you pulled a rainbow foil. You said you pulled something really good in your treasure pack. I don't remember if it was a death threat or not.
All right, rare, and foil. Common.
Yep, I got nothing. So 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
played
6.
Bingo and Ira. Dot. I tried it too. It's not good. That was the question, right? What do you wish was more competitively viable? Like I played Bingo. It's not good, but
I just I just read the have you read the flavor text of Bingo? It's from a quote from Assier.
I
It
don't
says a
remember.
winner. It says winner winner chicken dinner.
Yes, like this game needs more just fun stuff, right? Honestly, just give me jank.
Actually,
Rare, and the foil rare.
yeah, I got nothing. Actually, this kind of supports your answer earlier. This is also from Everfest, from your favorite set.
Exactly. So wait, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Majestics and a Fabled.
Yep, I
Pretty
got
good.
7 Majestics and then the Marvel. Yeah, so I think 7's been the average from what I've opened. So I usually see 6 to 8. So usually I look for 8 Majestics, but I've been tracking 7 in high C's because that seems to be at our average.
This pack is I put one away from my collection. This is one of the few packs that is really hard to keep sealed.
It
It's
is,
like
especially when they're selling for like $30.
yeah.
Is that the pack from your box now, or is that an extra golden
Yes.
pack?
No, it's from this
Okay,
box.
okay,
All
all right.
right. Let's
So yeah, for these rules, we're not doing anything special. So after we open it, we'll ask each other one question, but we're just
all
doing this
right.
one just for the fun of it.
All right. So first of all, Gold Kiss rum. I'm gonna drink to that. Considering
Okay.
I'm drinking rum.
I always like to look at the back. If by a rare chance the back has a double, then I'm gonna freak out because it means it's something really good.
What do you mean a double?
So I always because the front card
Yes.
is gold,
Yeah.
so I always go the back because the
Yeah.
James White cards there's some double sided cards.
Oh,
So if
got
I
it.
ever go and I see a double sided there, I'll
Yeah.
freak out because it means it's something really good.
Mm.
But it's
All right.
nothing. So
You
gold.
first.
Me first. All right, get the little speck there. 3, 2, 1. Nah, I mean it's a red charge,
Oh.
of course, but it's okay. It's a better draft card, but it's not the
All
best.
right. Let's see what.
All right,
Maybe I'm on fire today. I'm on fire.
going Death Threads.
No. HMS
Ooh,
Kraken, but it's
yeah, it's a beautiful card, but it's not good.
yeah. All right, I'll take it. All right, good. All right, gonna put these pulls a little bit to the side here while we gear up for the second box. Hexagore is a fun card to play as well. Oh, of course I missed the obvious one. Rock. I'd love
Rock,
to play
of course,
a rock
that's
deck.
right.
Oh my god, I've tried to make rock work so many times. It's just like it won't. Give me
Do
a
you
rock deck.
think if they had I'm trying to think. There's not really a way to make rock work, is there?
It's just a resource curve is really awkward on it. Like you almost certainly either need like an e-pot or a tunic count or something like that to make it work. Otherwise
Yeah.
it's just really weird. But I like rock, please.
Yeah, there has to be a if rock was a 2-cost attack, do you think that would be unreasonable? Because that just means you have to have a blue pitch with 2 floating. Do you think that would make rock too strong if it was a 2 pitch? And it still had the same conditions. Activate if you have no cards in your hand, damage can't be prevented. Because that means you have to play something that's a 1 or a 4 set, however you do the math. You have to kind of fix that counter, but do you think that would make it way too good?
Probably would. Yeah.
Probably
I
would.
think it would.
Okay. My initial thought was yes too, but I have rarely played rock, so I can't say if it's good or not.
I think the 3 costs with the condition that it needs to be can't have any cards in hand is very deliberate because that exactly makes it as awkward as it is. I think if you change that, then the pros will break it. Like, yeah.
So I will be what's the card called? Hold on. I'm going to support the case that Pirate Brute would be an amazing class with Rock because you have Saltwater Swell where attacks reveal the top, and if you do if it's a blue, pitch it. So you can just play
Oh,
Saltwater's pitch the
yes.
blue, and that's a free rock. If Saltwater hits a blue, it's
Oh,
a
yes.
Saltwater is a 3,
Oh.
2, 1 go again. If you hit a blue, it's a free rock swing.
Oh, that was so good. Oh my
Maybe
god.
Pirate Brute be too strong. Maybe we can't rainbow play
Yeah.
Saltwater and just attack with rock. Maybe that's too strong.
All right. Good. Oh, I already got the wrap off because sometimes I struggle taking the wrap off. So I was like, I did that pre-stream.
Ah, okay.
I
It's just
didn't
a
seed
habit.
my boxes. I didn't tamper with my boxes.
Well, the good news is for you, there's a very, never guaranteed, there's a very likely chance there's a Marvel in your next 24 pack. So you should be good.
The thing that I've noticed is like at the back of the packs, there's now little holes in the pack sometimes from probably from the
From the
way that the
from
machines
distro.
grab it. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have any minor. Yours Belgian Prince or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, mine are also Belgium. Yeah, I don't see any of mine. So yeah, it could be something with distro. I think I've seen that with Mistveil. I think I've seen some.
Yeah.
It's like there are like 2 like holes in the top of the
Yeah.
packs,
Exactly.
if I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Maybe it's a good sign. Swing Fist, Mac Cab, etc. would be cool. It would. Issue was if Klaus goes away with KO and hand scaling for more damage is hard without them. So 2 costs, 7 arc would be nice. 3 card hand could be potentially troll. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good. Pack one. Sorry.
Pack
You
one.
go for it.
No, it's fine. The speaking of weapons that are tied to a hero, fun fact, because I realized this during the hunted. If Marionette gets too good in if he like LLs within a year or a year and a half, he takes Hunter's Clave with him. So Hunter's Clave gets
Oh.
LL'd.
Oof. Well, not expensive card to go. All right. Rare. Avasti, rare, and just a foil common.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Nothing?
Which means
All right.
if all you Mark Assassins out there, if you want to play Mark Assassin post Mario LL, your only option is Hunt, or is it Mark of the Huntsman? That's your only marking
I,
dagger at that point.
I mean, just every time somebody comes in and asks about the pulls, I'm just gonna, you know what? Let me just put these pulls out here, so people don't have to ask. I'm just gonna leave them here because usually Pockets has the good pulls in these streams.
Yeah, we'll do the same thing. We'll just put the big one. So
So
really, it's
yes,
just
James.
those two.
Yes, some good pulls. How you doing, Black Belt? All right. Pack 2.
Yeah, pack 2.
And
Yeah,
we
definitely.
have
Simon is definitely ahead
rare.
in the value game. His first 3 packs paid for his entire case, so he is doing quite well, which I'm happy for him. I'm very happy for Simon.
I'm happy for Simon too. Prepping
Go
for an
Simon!
armory.
Yay
Yeah.
me!
Yay me, exactly. Um Black Belt is about to go destroy some people again.
Okay, where are you playing nowadays, Black Belt? I forgot. I haven't been
He's a
keeping track.
freaking menace. That's what he is.
Oh, just a menace. It doesn't matter where he plays. It's just being a menace.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yep. Pack 3.
Pack 3. Just don't pull the gold foils I need. Don't worry. I'm not gonna pull anything good out of that.
No, you pull the one so that way you can sell it to him for 95%. That's fine.
The only one I really like from, like, aside from the one of ones, of course, I'd really like a Marvel not Puffin.
Marlin?
No, the bird, Polly.
Oh, Polly. Gotcha.
Yeah, rare. It's good rare, but I've asked you nothing there.
Yep, nothing
Alright.
here.
That's
Yeah, I
starting
think
pretty badly here.
out of my 10 cases, it was I pulled 2 Marvel heroes. One was a young Gravy and one was the adult Marlin, so it's not bad.
Black Belt is wondering what are you asking, CC or Blitz?
Yes.
Fire in the hole. Oh, Palantir Aeronauts.
Those are good. Those I think are still
Yeah,
bouncing around $10. They're really good.
it's a good card. Do you have anything?
All right. Nope, I got nothing. You got me there. What you got for me?
All right, let's. It's been a while since we asked a question. Um, do you have a Grail card, and if yes, do you own it?
Do I have a Grail card? Like, are we talking like monetary value or just personal value or just in
Just
general?
personal value.
Personal value, yes. I have two cards, and one I'm staring at right now. One of them is in my book back here. So when I started Flesh and Blood, I was at my local game store. It was 40-minute drive, but it's basically where I went for Commander. So was playing Commander at the time. I was looking at other TCGs. I was also into Digimon TCG. Been doing that for
Yeah.
about 6 months. So for the Digimon TCG, I think it's in. I think it's this book. Let me double check. If it's not in these two books, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, it's in this one. So I did Digimon for a while. So I did keep
Mm-hmm.
some stuff I wanted, but the important ones was so this is from Classic Collection, I think it was. So anyone that's a little older, during the early 2000s, there was a Digimon TCG, the very first one, which was in the 2000s. You may recognize the character arts. So the character arts was from the original first
Oh
Digimon
yeah,
back
yeah.
in the early
I
2000s.
recognize the dinosaur in the middle there.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
what you'll notice even more is these alt arts that were also in this set. So if you notice, this is the design for the current Digimon TCG. The alt
Oh.
arts, which I'm going to scroll down here, is the original layout from the original Digimon TCG from the early 2000s. So if you notice the name being vertical going up, the positioning of the cost and the other text, all this is from the original Digimon TCG, which are the alt arts. This is the new positioning, but the old character model, and this is
Oh.
the old alt art TCG design. So I started Digimon because I saw the set, which was a fairly cheap set. So I have one of each of the classic collection cards, and I loved this set. So I thought I was going like collecting Digimon TCG. Uh, the gameplay is amazing. The memory
Okay.
system's amazing. Definitely a very well balanced design. But I found out I didn't like collecting as much as I wanted to collect in the Digimon TCG. But I kept the classic collection because that's my favorite set. So going into looking for another TCG I was interested in collecting, stumbled upon Flesh and Blood because I kind of like the art design. I ended up buying like 3 packs of Unlimited Monarch. My very, very, very first pack ever in Flesh and Blood TCG was a Rainbow Foil Great Library,
Oh.
and I
Oh. Oh yeah.
loved the art. I
Yeah.
still have it in my book as a little history piece. So that, along with the Yorick Cold Foil Marble Hero,
Mm.
is probably like my personal grails because Great Library being the very first card I ever pulled, and the Yorick kind of, I think, embodies like Flesh and Blood as a whole, like the community. Because I don't remember the
Yeah.
flavor text, but if you ever pull up the flavor text for the Yoro Hero, kind of embodies what Flesh and Blood's about, and I just like the story behind it because it tells like a tale of great memory,
Yeah.
tales to tell, sharing things of the common language. Those are probably like my two treasure cards to myself. Like if we're talking about monetary, as of today, I don't know any gold foils because I don't play the high competitive and I don't plan to buy any gold foils in the foreseeable future. But my most expensive card is probably the Eye of Fidia right now because that's like $600 now. It's probably my most expensive card.
Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah. That's a good answer. And call to action, chat. What's your grail, and do you have it? Sigma CF Scaps. That's a really nice card. Yeah.
How much are CF Scaps going for right now?
I have no
Probably
idea.
4 figures, I assume, right? Still 4 figures.
Probably, yeah. Although the prices have come down a little bit, right?
They have the collectability on the first edition cards of the first 3 sets have definitely gone down a noticeable amount.
Yeah. Okay. Tit for tat. Drop the anchor, chart the course, and that's it.
Yeah, I got nothing. Only got a little
Gonna have to
intermission. Hey, what's up? You want to say hi real quick? Come here. Got a little intermission. I got one of them that's asleep, and the other one who keeps saying hi. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Hi.
Say hi, Simon.
Hi.
You gotta say hi,
Hi.
Simon. See, look, he's right there. Oh, you're being shy. Look, he's got a pirate hat
And a parrot.
and a parrot. There's a parrot behind his hand. There you go.
What's your
You
name?
want to say hi to chat? Say hello, chat.
Hi.
Hi works. What's your name?
My name is Harvey.
Hi, nice to meet you, Harvey.
He says, "Nice to meet you, Harvey." You know what his name is?
What?
His name is Simon. Simon, the stupid, sexy pirate.
Yeah, and this is my daddy over here
Yeah, this is Daddy.
Oh, really?
holding me.
And my
Sister, her name is Haley.
Oh, Harvey and Haley.
So
it's
well, so Haley's asleep.
Haley is asleep. All right, hey Harvey. So Daddy's gonna be doing some stuff to Simon, so we're trying to open up some stuff. You mind waiting for Daddy just for a little longer, buddy?
Troll,
No.
RF Shard, Arknights. Oh,
Yeah.
very
Oh,
nice.
one
yeah.
second.
Grails are the cold foes that are come as promos. I have Emberblade, Young Fi, and others. Oh, I have Emberblade and Adult Fi. I own MTG Korean GS Cradle signed by Mark Zuck in gold. I don't know what any of that means, but can we have a Harvey pack? I don't know. I think Harvey left.
He's right here. Here, come here. Do you want to? Okay, Harvey, you want to do one thing for me, and then we'll head back downstairs. Here, come here. All right. Let's see if the Harvey
All
luck
right,
is
let's
for you.
all right. Let's get a lucky pack here from Harvey.
There you go, Harvey. So what you're gonna do is you see this paper. So
Yeah.
tear the paper.
Come on, Harvey. You can do it.
There you go. So you take the cards out, but you have to be gentle with the cards, okay?
If I don't break.
Yep, and keep them right here so look, so you can see the camera. See? You see they're on the camera right there? There you go. There you go. Yep. So that's fine. Turn them around. You're holding them in your hand. And then you look at every card. So put a card in my hand. Yep. There you go. Give me another card.
No, this one.
Yep.
But yesterday, wait, when we're done these, can I tell that guy over on there something?
What do you want to tell him? You can tell him right now. He can hear you. What do you want to tell him?
I can. Yeah.
Well, so yesterday, me and Mommy and Haley were outside playing, and then we were playing in a pool in the backyard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Were you able to use the
Oh.
pool? Is it warm enough?
Is the pool warm enough for you?
Yeah.
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 You'd like it warm or cold? Look at that. You got a good one for Daddy. And you'll put that one right Yeah, that one's really cool too. That's a sea monster.
Tip the barkeep. I'll drink to
So,
that.
like
Yeah, let's see here. Actually, you want the Mosasaurus card?
I want this, yeah.
You want the Mosasaurus card?
There you
Alright,
go.
go for that. Alright. Alright, Daddy's gonna open up a few more, okay? I'll be downstairs in a little bit after I've done this, okay? Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna be muted
Sure,
so if you
sure,
want to
sure.
entertain chat.
Sure. All right, chat. What's happening? I would do awful things for CF Vincent. Is there one? I don't know. Truly the Harvey luck pulling through, right? Right? Maybe you should do this more often. Oh, CF Vincent is a judge pack. Got it. You've got a few graded cards from other games that were high-end price cards. I mean, of course you have high-end price cards. So I think mine is a Marvel Codex of Frailty. I have the other Marvel Codexes, but I really want the Frailty. And I keep wanting to buy Uprising, but it's just not available anywhere. It is in wait, yes, it is Uprising, right? Or it's Dynasty. No, Outsiders. It's in Outsiders. There's just no Outsiders product anywhere. It's like I'd
Yeah.
love to keep opening it, but there's none. There's just you can't get it.
Do you have any of the Marvel Codexes, or that's what you really want?
Yeah, I have both. I have the The blood rot and the inertia. Just the felt is the one that I'm missing.
Nice. And did you get anything from that pack or no?
No, I did not.
Okay, that's my first Majestic from that. So let me see.
Serialized bobblehead from the Fallout Magic set. Ooh, that sounds awesome. The Intelligence bobblehead. That sounds like an awesome card to have, Dot.
That's from the Fallout set, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
All right. Here's a community of question. So, how do you see the Fab community evolving in the next few years?
I think it's gonna grow a lot. I think 2025, what we're seeing so far, all the issues that we're seeing so far this year is because of the game growing by a lot.
Mm.
And I think because of that, it's going to feel less tight knit, and it's gonna. I don't know if fracturing is the right word, but I feel like we're gonna get more. Maybe discourse is also the wrong word. It's gonna be more division as what people like and what they dislike. I feel so far it's been like, we're one whole, but as the community continues growing, like we get more and more viewpoints, and it's gonna be, I think it's gonna feel like there's more infighting, for a lack of better words, just because there's more people and more different opinions, and yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But overall, I think it's gonna grow a lot. I I still think it's a great game. We have issues, but on the whole of it, the issues are not big, and there are issues that can be solved. So
I think to comment on those issues too. Yep, I got my pack. I'm ready. To comment
yeah,
on
I'm
those
ready.
issues too. I think it's good that a TCG has. I mean, you can never be perfect, but I think it's good
Yeah.
that not only that you're just going to naturally going to have those issues, but LSS has kind of handled the majority of those issues well. I'm not going to speak for every moment, but their intent is always good, and because their intent is good, which is why I'm happier with the game too. So,
Okay, I got a rare, and then
hey, first conquer. There we go.
Ooh, let's
Yeah,
go. Let's
I'm happy with
go.
that. Shoot.
I
All right,
think
since I got what'd you get so far? Yeah,
I got a
you're still way ahead.
Palantir so far. You're
Nice.
winning box 2, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do a deeper question.
All right. Okay.
This isn't a deep question towards you, but like a deep question towards LSS. So, do you think LSS rewards creativity with these metas, or do you think they design these to be pushed towards a safer, optimized strategy?
That's a really good question.
Because I'm not much of a designer. My only
Yeah.
design experiences really comes from like video games when done QA testing, but LSS obviously has a design team when they design these. Do you think, to reiterate the question, do you think LSS when they're designing these cards, do you think they're designed for a safe to optimized strategy since it's very competitive, or do you think they designed this scene to be more rewarded for creativity?
I think more the latter than more the former than the latter. I do think they want people to put in some effort to find an optimized deck and to really get the limit out of every single deck. But I think they're very conscious of the cards that are out there and the complexity of what that brings. So I don't think they're trying to be too cute. Right? Because if you go down that route and you make things more complex and you're trying to build something which rewards that creativity, I don't think they have the testing team to test all the variables, right, that brings with it. So I think yes to some degree, but I think they're probably more on the streamlined side. It's like there's a couple of optimal ways to do this, and that's it. And that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier on as well. I want more Jank because I'd love for people to be able to bring decks to a tournament which is like, nobody thought of this, right? You just get a few cards from Everfest, you jam it in there, and it's like, this deck is weird. Dot says it depends on the set. I do think... I don't think it's more creative than optimized. I think it's... I mean, it depends. I mean, no, you actually got a point. It depends on the hero design. It depends on the different heroes, but I would say they do more optimized things. It's just not always obvious at first sight.
Yeah, and the tag on top of it, my short, without answering my own question, but my short answer to that is I think it is more creative, but when it comes to design, I think there is noticeably more focus on these Majestics because whenever there is a meta swap or something becomes more meta dependent, I'll use like the generic ones, for example, like Erase Face, Amnesia, those types of cards. You quickly notice those cards get swapped out when it's meta dependent, but we don't see much of these commons and rares. There's probably some caveats. I'll use like Gravekeeping, for example, for the newer set. We haven't seen it yet because High Seas just came out, but maybe with Gravy being meta dependent, you start seeing more creativity with cards like Gravekeeping being used to kind of shut down a heavy Gravy meta. But the optimization goes into the rarity of the cards, focus more on the Majestics, where the Majestics are key pieces to optimize your deck for the meta, but the creativity goes more into the majority of the cards that are like not Majestic. So that's how I see it, and I think that serves well in a competitive scene because not only I think the competitive scene in Fab is as good as it is, and this may not be a agreeable answer, but I think the cost of some of these cards also matters in a competitive scene because there is a reason why things like Project Blue or maybe like some of the cheaper cards are probably not played in these metas because they're not optimized the way LSS has designed it, but because these higher decks are a little more expensive, they are kind of maybe more what's we're looking for appealing to like the average person that's watching it. And we are a player driven market. Like I don't think anyone can deny that. Like we're 100% a player driven market when it comes to the cost of these cards. So I think the design space is focused on these Majestics, which does bring up the cost of the game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very much how can I get the last little value out of every single card, and that maybe doesn't encourage a lot of creativity, but yeah, I mean, creativity in design and then how you optimize your deck are two different things.
Yeah.
All right.
I got nothing there.
Nothing? All right, let's see. Rare. And a cracked bubble.
Bobble.
So no. This box has been very bad. A Palantir Aeronauts. So
that's right.
Again,
There's still a marble somewhere. There's still a marble somewhere.
There maybe. Sometimes you don't get them.
Sometimes you don't.
I'm not going to complain. All right. Walk the plank. Portside, Fiddler's Green.
Nothing up, here.
Herald of Sikkim. Another one. That's my third one. All right. So let's see.
And while you're pulling that, Black Belt was saying I like creativity and making jank decks work. Yeah, I like making jank. Like I play Olympia. There was the Olympia deck that I think you saw a few weeks back. That it was just a fun one. I really want like a sword and board, or if Spear became a thing for Olympia, I would love a rebuyable, like a throwaway equipment where you can rebuy it. That's a design Olympia I would love. But I built a janky, whatever that Bastion Uni is, like a Bastion Uni sword Olympia deck focused around the Golden Anvil. Like that's just fun. But yeah, janky decks don't always work, but it's always fun. That's why I like Project Blue. I think Project Blue can definitely serve some funny janky decks, which also can be really good.
So I leaned more into the weird side of questions here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which hero peaked in high school and never got over it?
Wait, repeat that?
Which hero peaked in high school and never got over it?
Oh. Victor. Victor.
Like a
Victor.
thought exact immediately, Victor.
Victor, like there's no question about like this guy is so self-conceited. He was the jockey. He wore the bomber jacket like this. It had his name on it like this. I'm not saying I'm condescending. This is the support Feisty Local, okay? But my point is the guy's probably wearing a bomber jacket with Victor on his back. He's like, yeah, I was a quarterback for high school. My parents made so much money. I'm 30 years old right now. I don't give a shit. I will still kick your ass.
My job,
100% Victor.
my job at the moment, professional son. All right, yeah, that's a good answer. All right, next pack. Oh, you already opened it.
Oh yeah, but I just yeah, I'm right here.
All right,
Caved in,
all right.
Genesis, Melody, KO, and Data Doll are all built in janky.
Oh, hello, Cockworks Dovetail.
Nice, that's a nice one. And I got nothing, so you get me again.
All right. So, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but still, what do you feel like is the biggest danger to Flesh and Blood at the moment in terms of it potentially failing as a game?
That's a good question. So, I'm gonna see if I can have two answers. I have one answer already. In terms of players, LSS's capability, LS's intents, I don't see any issues. I think those are what makes LSS very successful and is going to strive as a TCG. I think those are very strong in the foreseeable future. I mean, we're always going to have bad eggs. We're going to make mistakes, but the fact that the majority of the community is very welcoming and is very supporting because they want people to play the game and is going to support it regardless if the local does or not. They're always going to support it. And LSS has on record many times admitted to their mistakes, shows compassion of, hey, we effed up. We realize it. We're going to try to make sure this doesn't happen again. What would make it either fail or go or make it troubling in the future? The first one that was off the there's probably there's a second one, but the first one off the top of my head was scalpers, and on top of that answer is probably I personally don't want to see this, even though it's a pain in the butt to list up online. I don't want TCG player, and I don't want other applications to have a fab database to allow for scanning for cards. And the only reason being is when you start having these automatic processing options to be able to start adding cards to these sites. I'm going to use TCG Player from the United States, for example. I know Card Kingdom is outside the US, but that'll be another example. I assume they have a similar application where, so the three big ones, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and Pokemon in TCG Player, there's an application in TCG Player which allows you to scan the cards. It has a database of all the images, so you can just put it in front of the camera, boop, scans a card, puts it into your inventory. Flesh and Blood doesn't have that. Digimon doesn't have that. A lot of the card games don't have that because it's a lot of work to build up that database. If Flesh and Blood ever became that popular and they say, oh, Flesh and Blood is now number 4, we want to start supporting it more, and they built their database, I'm afraid of that because that's going to encourage more scalping because now there's an automatic processing for that. I think if something like that were to be added, then more people would just look at Flesh and Blood to be a quick turnover, buy a lot of product, crack it open, sell it, automate it, and just make money. There's already a scalping issue with Pokemon, and I think Magic is slowly getting to that with some of these Universe Beyond sets, looking at like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has some really bad allocation issues, and I think part of that, and the majority of that was not because of scalping, but a small factor of that is scalping, and because they have automatic processing. I would like to see Flesh and Blood succeed, and if it does succeed, I believe Flesh and Blood's gonna be around for the foreseeable future. But if it does become fairly successful in the years to come, then programs like TCG Player will have automatic processing. So I'm hoping at that point scalping is not much of a problem. That's really a timing issue. Um, there's maybe a second factor, but that's like the number one factor. I think scalping and
Yeah.
automatic processing is what's going to drive it down. If we, it's going to drive down the success of Flesh and Blood in the future.
Yeah, it's a really good answer. I actually hadn't thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense if you lower the barrier to turn it around quickly and make it less effort. Then more people are gonna try and just like selling a card for 5 cents more than you bought it may then suddenly become reasonable because you can do it so fast, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Dot said the price of decks. I kind of agree. I think we need to. I'm fine with, honestly. I'm fine for a pro that wants to win World Tour to pay a lot for their decks, but there needs to be something where you have a format that people can play that is fun, which is not expensive for people to come into the game, where they can decide, hey, I can play competitively, I can play at the top of the game, and if I then want to make the step to the top level, then I can still decide if I want to invest more. But yeah, it's at the moment the prices are too high. I think the problem is this year Flesh and Blood is a victim of its own success, if you ask me. It's just like too many people getting in and wanting the cards, so that drives up the prices.
It
But
does. And that's, yeah, and I would agree. I'll make a comment on Dalt's comment or statement too. So Flesh and Blood being a extremely competitive game, and because it has a player driven market, is going to naturally bring up the prices on a lot of these cards. So because CC is the primary format, with every other format being debatably, but probably confidently nowhere compared to CC, does affect the price of these cards. Because if Blitz was even a fraction of popularity of CC, or even like Project Blue, if Project Blue starts getting a lot of traction, that would be great. But honestly, if Project Blue got too successful, I think it would start driving up the prices of some of these rares just because of the format.
yeah, but because they're because they're more readily be available, they'll never be the prices of Majestics. But
100% agree. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, if there was another successful format, which I hope Project Blue is successful, it may bring about some of the prices of some of this common rare stuff. Not much, but it will definitely be a better entry compared to
yeah.
CC format being the prices that it is.
All right. Oh, tip to park keep from me.
Nice. I got the copper cog, which I put over here. Yeah, so I got nothing. So you got me there.
All right. All right. Let's we did a serious one. Let's do a not so serious one. By the way, Nathaniel, welcome, welcome. Yep. I look forward to Project Blue. I hope that comes through and it's actually going to be a good format. What do we have here? I'm running out of questions. If you could play Fab anywhere in the world, where would it be and against whom?
Can I say UK against Simon?
You can.
Just that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Because I like to meet you in person. That's why I had fun. In Memphis, I got to see Zach in person, Aggro Blaze. That was very fun. So we definitely had a great time there. Another answer, I don't know, because Julian's already in my local. Julian Sniffin, the Wizard player, he's already at my local. Maybe this is a very high stake answer. Anywhere that involves James White. That's really it. Just because that's really I think that's a very, I don't want to, that's not a cop-out answer. That's honestly why, because the guy seems very genuine. I mean, he does have a lot of its own stresses and problems that comes with this, so he can't just talk to everyone. But if I could just sit down, have a game against him, if we got the chat and shoot, if he decided to invite me for like a drink and just chat more, just to have chats about stuff, like I would love that. I'm pretty sure many other people will, but he's definitely on my list of guys I would like to have the drink at a bar and just chat about stuff.
Nathaniel is saying that the problem with Project Blue is that the good cards are the ones that are like locked away in pre-built decks, so pre-constructed like Terra. That yeah, that does make it a bit of an issue, but still the price is a lot lower than if you play a CC deck or a deck, a fully priced out Blitz deck. So
Yeah, I don't think that's bad. What's a off the top of your head? I know some of the rares. There's some specific cards. What's the name of one of the rares that's locked in the Terra? I'm pretty sure if you go on TCG Player or another site, I'm willing to bet it's not a crazy price. Maybe it's like $1 or $2, but I can't think of any rares that's above $3 that's not above Sync Below. And Sync Below is banned in Project Blue, so maybe you can build a deck
I mean,
for the price of a CNC at most. I mean, you can probably
Yeah.
build a deck for the price of an E-Strike, and then it can be a competitive deck. I don't see any of these rares being that expensive.
I mean, the one that I can think of, it's not Terra, but it's in Ira, right? What's the red? Keep forgetting it's in the Ira deck. It's in the
Mauling Key.
TCC.
No,
No,
Mauling
no,
Key's
no, no, no,
Majestic.
no, it's not Mauling Key. Damn it, I should know
Not-
this.
It's not the boot, right? You're talking about it actually goes in the deck.
Bittering Thorns red, exactly. Which is like
Ah.
£6 over here, right? Which is, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's still much cheaper.
Yeah.
I have a little story about. I've never actually told this anybody. So I'm gonna spill the beans a little bit here. James White. Right, let's look at this pack first, and then I'll get into it.
Sure.
All right, so rare, foil rare, nothing. So
Yep, I got
James
nothing.
White. So we had a pre-release here in London at Darksphere for, I think it was for. I think it's part of Misville, right? And then James White announced a few days before, oh, he's going to come to the shop, right? He was in London or in Europe for a vacation with the family, and he just short-term decided he's going to go to that pre-release. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get a ticket and I'm going to go as well, right? And we sat there and we got our packs, etc. And, James White said something to everybody. And then it came to deck construction time. And I was like, I'm going to go talk to James, right? So I sat opposite him during the deck construction. And it was really awkward. And it was awkward because I made it awkward. And I was like, to this day, it's like, oh my God. Like, I had like this one time where I could actually talk one-to-one with James, and I just behaved really weirdly and awkward, and like I don't use this word lightly. I still cringe now when I think about, like, because I think he really wanted the space so he can find out his cards and look at it, and then I sat opposite him. I was like, while he was doing that, I was like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? my one shot. Well, yeah, there you go.
Imagining Simon's probably had some nightmares where he's watching a dev talk, and all of a sudden James White just saying to you, I definitely accept the Flesh and Blood community feedback, but I can't remember. There's this one guy, I think he named himself like ScowlingFleshBag after one of the cards. Like, he was very awkward, and but he has some interesting questions, but I couldn't take him seriously. Like, I bet Simon's probably had nightmares about this.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just like I'll be honest, right? I just like I saw an opportunity to talk to him, and I just made it weird. Like it's just like I just made it so weird.
You're good. A nice psychology and while we're opening, a nice psychology and philosophy bubble for all those out there and towards Simon. Like, all these problems that you probably have in your head, like these worries and concerns, I can promise you, they are a fraction of concern than anyone else that was involved. But because it involved you directly, it's like 10 times worse than anyone else has remembered it. So, maybe
Yeah.
not to like James White, who interacts with thousands of people, but maybe like one of your friends, you had this weird interaction that's like, man, this guy's just gonna think I'm a jerk because I did this, or he's just think I'm, just awkward. I can promise you, they're probably they're their memory of that is probably a fraction of what you remember it as. So
Yeah, exactly.
what you're
right? So
feeling is 10 times worse than probably what James remembers it as.
if you do something in public that you think is embarrassing, like nobody's gonna remember. Like at most, they're gonna remember for like one day, and they're gonna tell their mate, and then everybody's gonna forget about it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, rare. Oh, a loan shark.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I'm gonna let you be the judge of this. So I do have something. It is not just one majestic, but it's two
Oh.
majestics.
Oh, all right. Wow.
So I'll let you
okay.
decide. Does that consider a tie? Since once
No,
maybe
you
a rainbow
win.
foil.
You win.
Okay.
You
So
win.
we have a dovetail and we have a surfing shake. All right.
Black
Or
belt.
surface
You're
shaking.
saying I did an adult thing today. What did I do? What did I do? And
Drink?
Dot's saying that's why I'm not getting a spoiler because he remembers me. Yeah, he's probably like, wait, that Scowling guy, yeah, he was really weird. I don't think we should give him a spoiler. I bet James White signs off of all the spoilers. I'm sure.
All right.
No, it's like
Question.
I'll remember forever my one shot that I messed it up.
All right. We'll break it with a fun one. This is gonna be controversial to all you Magic the Gathering players. I didn't want to ask this question, but I think it's just a fun one, which is why I'm asking it. If Flesh and Blood had a crossover set with another IP, what would you want it to be?
I mean, the obvious one is Street Fighter, right? That's
Okay.
like the obvious one, just because it's a fighting game. But actually, I think it should be a fighting game, but it shouldn't be Street Fighter. Like, do you remember this? There was this fighting game. I don't remember its names, and it was basically all people with swords, like different kinds of swords.
You're talking about Soul Calibur.
Yes, I think Soul Calibur. I think would be a good crossover.
Soul Calibur would be a cool one. I mean, we technically, well, if you're talking about a fighting game, this is not a fighting game, but it's fighting characters. We have one coming in Singapore with all the beach characters. We technically have a Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball, coming out.
True.
It's not rated in for mature, but it's the closest thing we have right now.
See, Nathaniel, I didn't say Pirates of the Caribbean because, like, I didn't want to get my opinion colored by recency bias. Right? That's why I didn't say that.
Yeah, I think Soul Calibur would be cool because we have Siegfried would be Victor. Nightmare would probably be like Arachne Mary in that, or just like an Arachne side, even though he's swords, and the weapons probably don't match, but that'd be, or maybe like a Voldol. Actually, Voldol would be pretty cool. I think Arachne is one of the Arachnes. Like even Slippy would be a really cool Voldol cross character.
Rare common foil. Oh, and a Consign to Cosmos Shock.
That's a good one. Make our pictures. Celia likes those.
Nathaniel, I agree. Like, I would be completely happy with more alt art. Like, just print alt art. Like, not necessarily crossover with anything, but just fun stuff, right? Again, like, I feel like there's a good portion of the fan base of this game that just takes it a little bit too serious. It's like, let's have people have fun with this, right? It's like, not crazy, but, just the summer promos from Singapore are fun. Like, that's great. I love it.
Yeah, and I'll even comment on that. So, coming from Magic the Gathering background for myself, I'm not a big fan of the Universe Beyond, primarily because it's shadowed the foundation of Magic, and that's why I don't like it. If it was something, right now it's a cash grab, so they just want to print Universe Beyond because people are willing to spend cards on SpongeBob SquarePants cards. Like, I don't like that in Magic the Gathering. I'd rather the foundation of Magic to kind of stay alive, and that came back with Foundations, which I love the set, by the way. But beyond that, I don't like it when other IPs override the original Flesh and Blood art. So the fact that Flesh and Blood is creating alt art for the hero, which is good because Flesh and Blood deck design is not the same as like Magic. Magic is, speaking like fan or format or standard. You have cards that you're going to be playing actively, and you're going to see these alt cards of like different IPs are kind of mixed in that. Kind of makes it just, in my opinion, kind of weird to look. In Flesh and Blood, the only variant we've had so far is just in the hero. So just having like the hero art kind of vary, even if it was an IP, like if it was like Universe Beyond style, like Soul Calibur, you're only really changing the hero art, but all the other cards kind of stay the same. So everything still stays in sync, if that makes sense. So because
Yeah.
everything's so synchronized and the only thing that's changing is the hero, maybe the weapon can change because the weapon may meet like Soul Calibur esque names, but it keeps the original name. It doesn't really change the deck and how like the game flows. So I'm
Yeah.
fine with that because it doesn't make things seem contradicting, I guess is the best way I can explain it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm I as long as the overall feel of the game stays intact. But yeah, I mean, alt art is fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, anyway, we have 4 packs left. I have yet to hit a Marvel. So,
It's still a
yes.
chance. I'm 4 Majestics in, so hopefully I get 3 more to break even, so we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we got something here. Chowder, that is a card. Hook. Scurvy. Fun card. That's my first Scurvy.
Oh, is it
My
really?
first
Nice.
Scurv.
They are short
Out of-
printed.
Yeah. Yeah, really. So it's actually really hard to play them in limited then. So crazy that that person at the Nationals in the US played Scurv twice. Back to back. But I guess it happens. Alright, so. Third last pack. Line. Divvy up. And Swift over Swoop. Swoop. Nothing from me.
Yep, nothing from me.
Second last pack.
Still waiting for the Rainbow Foil Majestics. Hopefully it's in one of these two. Still, we're only 4 Majestics in this box, so it's very low. We're only going to get a max of 6.
You gotta hit 2 now.
Yeah, especially when there was a double Majestic in one pack. Like there's a Majestic. Okay, maybe there's a Rainbow behind it.
A Rainbow Foil
Hey.
Charlie Blutcher.
Yep, nice.
And a
So
couple
I
cards.
have a double Majestic.
Oh,
which is
a
good.
double
So
Majestic. That's the second double Majestic.
Yep. So we'll see. If I don't hit a Rainbow Foil Majestic, then I'm going to count this as a loss for me since you got the Rainbow Foil. So there's Return Fire. Is this a rainbow? It is a rainbow. Hey,
Woo!
Arcane Compliance. That's a really good one, actually. I'm
Yeah.
happy with that. Sweet.
Good.
All right.
Good.
We both get to ask a question now, so I'll let you. Actually, I'm going to start it since I got the
Yes.
double
Ask.
Majestic. Let me pick. Actually, do you have a question lined up? I'm going to pick one if you have one lined up.
Is there like you have more experience with other trading card games than I have? Is there
I
like
have
a
a fair
card?
amount, yeah.
Is there like a card treatment in other games like we just discussed alt arts, but different foilings or anything that a different card game did with cards that you would like to see in Flesh and Blood?
As long as it doesn't affect the intended print run for the original, I would like to see so we have alt art, and alt art is the it's extended art, it's not alt art. I would like to see an alt art variant of some cards. It will, I think, increase the collectability of some cards. So if I had to use like the Codex of Frailty recently, or not Codex, maybe that's not a good example. We'll use Command and Conquer, or I'm sorry, High CNC, Conquer the High C. Since that is I think the focused Majestic, since it's a pirate card that can be used through across all 3 heroes. If they had they have the non-foil, the rainbow foil, and they obviously have the gold foil and the gold pack. Let's assume the gold pack didn't even exist.
Yes.
If there was an alt art of High CNC that was extended art, just like a very beautiful one. It could be a completely different image. It could be a different angle in the image. Maybe it's like, maybe like closer up front where you see like the waves break on the side where it's like very, like a very beautiful style art. Maybe like EA alt art variant.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see that because I do truly believe the collectability of this game is going to retain value in the cards that you keep, not just because it's a player market, but just a general collectability. And there's some people that just like the max rarity of their stuff. So if they took it a step further, it's like, hey, there's these very rare cards that are probably, and I'll use the amulets for example. The amulets are these marbled out, same art, but these, I think they're anywhere between $800 to $1,000 right now. I think the diamond amulet's like $1,800 right now, which is crazy. But if there was a variant of an art of like high CNC,
Yeah.
I would like to see that. But I don't want that to replace the availability
Yeah.
or the print availability of the other cards. It should be its own like Fable level printing. I would like to see that because it gives people that want to collect and just kind of show off their bling, or people that want to keep buying cards to keep it available. I would like to see that.
Yeah. I like that. I was just thinking, Conquer of the High Seas. You could put it into portrait mode, right? It could be like
Mhm.
alt art, no text box and then just have like a portrait art on it. I don't know, but yeah.
Oh,
I also
kind of like the Marvel heroes, like so you have Conquer High Sea, but the back is just a full art. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, it's like also like put it like sideways so to showcase more of the ship, right?
Oh, like a landscape card.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
that would
sorry,
be
landscape.
really
Yeah,
cool. That would be
yeah,
really cool, actually. Yeah, I would like that. That would be really cool.
yeah. That's at edged foils. That was my thoughts. Like foiling with a bit of structure would be really cool if done well. Like I don't want to like do what Pokemon does. I think where it's basically it's just like a pattern that they put on top that's just like random. But if it had followed the art a bit or something, or imagine like on Conquer of the High Seas, like if it followed the waves or I don't know something like that, be pretty cool.
Yeah, like I call it like an intentional foiling. So for the
Yeah,
design of High Sea, there will be like intentional foiling of like the waves. The waves pop out, but the ship
yeah,
is obviously being shown in the background. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Cold foiling that's not just in the border, but in the art itself that kind of presents the
yeah,
card. Makes
yeah.
it more three-dimensional. Yeah, that would be pretty cool actually. I would like that.
Cool. What's your question for me?
Oh yeah, I do have a question. We won. uh oh here, okay. We're gonna do a deep one. I think this one's a positive one.
Okay.
I like this one.
Okay. Okay.
Since we're 2 packs left, what lessons of competitive play have you taken into your real life, whether it's work, relationships, or travel? I'm glad you laughed at that. Yeah, definitely give it a thought. Because I know
Oh.
you
Oh.
can definitely go into your history, but I know you said before in your streams that you used to travel the world. I don't know the official term, but you basically lived place to place and you traveled the
Yeah.
world for quite a long time, and then now you've came back. This is your first competitive. This is your first TCG ever, which is, yeah, congrats to you, doing very good for being your first TCG. But now being in this TCG, like what lessons in competitive play, and it can be in casual play, it can be streaming, just see in your Flesh and Blood career, what have you done or learned in Fab that if you've taken on your real life and work or relationship or other travels?
That is quite the question. I'm buying
Gotta make it
time
harder on
right
you.
here. But if I'm talking, I can't think. So I want to say have more control over emotional outbursts, right? So I have this thing where emotions boil up in me pretty quickly, especially frustration and anger. Like it doesn't I don't let it out on somebody, but like sometimes like something doesn't go, doesn't go well or whatever, and then it's just like it's a volcano inside of me, right? And it goes from 0
Mhm.
to 100 within like a second. And I think the game, since I've started playing competitive play, I have learned to just control that impulse better. Because like a lot of tilting comes from there, right? It's like you something happens, it goes against you, you can't control it, and that then loses you the game, right? Because you get emotional, you get angry, you lose focus, and you let that emotion take over. And I think I've learned to control that better, which also benefits me in my personal life because I'm better able to control that impulse. Um, I think that's what I probably would say.
Okay, that's really good. Is it because you're more? Is it because you're more public facing? Is that what kind of controlled it, or just being in a more social environment? I assume you've been in a very social environment even during your travels. So what makes
Yeah,
this a little different? Is it because you're in front of a camera and you're with an audience that you can't see in person? Has that kind of helped it, or just being at these events in person? Do you think that's kind of helped it?
I think it's primarily because my goal to get better at the game, and I know that I'm very conscious. Like chat obviously helped me as well because people point out very quickly when I'm tilted, and I was like, no, I'm not tilted, but I'm very clearly very tilted. And I think it's a that chat can be very unforgiving for this stuff. So like, no, dude, just you're tilted, right? It's like don't try and pretend you're not. So it's like facing reality of what's actually happening and confronting the emotion and confronting what's actually happening as opposed to telling myself that actually that's not what's happening. And it's then from there on it got easier to recognize when it's happening, and just recognizing that it's happening helped me then during a game to sit back and be like, well, okay, chill. It happens. There's nothing you can do about it now. The situation is gone. So what do we do from here on out, right? And I don't want to pretend like I can always control this, like especially when you high stakes, you go on a losing streak, you lose games that you shouldn't be losing for whatever reason. Like it still happens, right? But I think I'm better at it in the competitive environment. I think also in my life, like I had situations in my life where I didn't behave in a way that I wish I would behave because that emotion just took over, and I think I'm better at feeling it come up and be like, okay, relax, it's fine, and I give a more measured response. Um, yeah, that would be my answer.
That's a very good answer, man. I agree with Nate. It's such a good question, such a great answer. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that. It's a really good answer. I like that.
Oh.
Yeah, take a drink after that.
I'll drink to that. All right, so
Alright,
last
one
pack
pack.
here.
Yep, and then the
Into the
golden
gold
pack
pack.
right after.
Yeah. All right. No marble so far for me. So this is it,
Well, you know what?
or
Here,
no
I'm not
marble
gonna.
case.
Yep.
I mean, it
Nah, I think
happens.
I had still a chance there. One pack.
All
I
right.
got nothing, so it's all on you. Let's see what you got.
Rare, rare. Nope. No marble.
Oh darn! Maybe the
Unless I
riches
missed it.
does replace it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah. All right, good.
Nice. So
Let's
we're
open
down
the gold
to
pack.
yep. Last question for each of us. Hopefully, we get something good
Mhm.
here. I hope you get something good. I've opened plenty of stuff. I want you to get something really good here, man. So
Hey, I'm happy with the riches, right? I think
yeah.
that's all right. So nothing spice in the back. Cool.
Who do you want to go first? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first this time because I asked you to go first last time.
Sure.
Another golden tipple.
Is that a blue one? I can't tell.
Yes, it's blue.
They're selling. I think they're like 30 something. At least USD,
Alright.
they're 30 something. So they're selling.
It's my
All right.
second golden tipple blue. All right, let's go. Come
All
on.
right. 3, 2, 1. Hey, it's a Marlin.
Ah.
It's okay. That's fine. Boxes are poo poo, but you know what? I still average out from everything. You did phenomenal, man. Like first 3 packs, you
I
paid for
mean,
everything.
yeah, I mean, once I opened up that Conqueror of the High Seas rainbow foil into the riches, I mean, what else do I want, honestly? Sealex is good too. 2 Jolly Bludgers. I think the Everbloom is pretty popular as well at the moment because I think Verdance plays that. If I'm not
Oh, the
mistaken.
Everbloom, yeah.
Yeah.
Everbloom, I think, is bouncing around 15. Actually, interesting. It's only an Earth card, so even Jarl can play it. It's not a Wizard card.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy
So-
with this. Obviously it was a bit front loaded, but yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm good with mine. Yeah, I got the Chum, which is doing well. Lone Shark is short printed. Tip the Bar Keeps and Sunken Treasures are always sold out. Rainbow Foil Sunken can never go wrong with the Conqueror. And Arcane, I think this is still bouncing around 20 to 30. Actually, I think I need one more from my Rainbow Foil set, so this will fill up my Rainbow Foil set. So I'm happy. I'm still
Good.
below asking price. I mean, I did get the Scuba. Scuba is the cheaper Marvel, but I'm still below my buy-in price. But I'm still happy with it. I can't complain.
Good, we're both happy.
All
Lone
right.
Shark
Last
being-
2 questions. Do you want me to ask mine, or do you want to ask yours first?
Go for
I'll
it.
let you choose. Me first. All right.
Yes.
I have to end with a deep question. All right.
Oh,
let's
okay.
See.
All right.
I have like another
Sir-
20 questions I can ask. It's just worded differently. Sure. It's a deep question, but it's generic. But I'd like to hear your response. So, how do you define success in the Fab community?
In the Fab community.
And this can be for people that's either done it for a long time or someone that's trying to get into Flesh and Blood and wants to, do more. You don't have to, you don't have to cure disease in Flesh and Blood. You can do your own thing as long as you're not, as long as you're
Yeah.
not going broke for it. But how do you define success
So
in the Fab community?
So for the Fab community or for myself in the community?
For yourself, it can be for yourself and for the Fab community. But if you
Yeah.
feel like you have a 2-part answer, like something that kind of tailors like yourself separate from the Fab community, it can be an answer that answers both, or it can be a 2-part answer, like something for yourself and something for the Fab community.
I think I think for myself, I'd really like to win a tier 2 event, like a ProQuest or an RTN. I think that's what I personally really want to do, and I think that is still my goal. But honestly, if I can just go play a few games a week and I'm having fun doing that, that's really what I'm looking for at the end of the day. Like, so if I think about ambitious goals, what I want to achieve, then I'd love to win a tier 2 tournament. But I don't have to do that to feel good about how I spend my time with the game. I have met a lot of awesome people through Flesh and Blood, and that I would have probably not ever met any other way. I didn't really. So, as you may know, I'm Swiss, and I moved to the UK in 2016. And before I started playing Flesh and Blood in 2021, I didn't really have like a social circle in the UK. Like, obviously, I had people from work, and I knew some people through my partner who's been living in the UK since a long time ago. And she's Brazilian, so Brazilians just find Brazilians, right? It's just like a whole thing. Like, if a Brazilian within like 200 miles, there'll just be like a bat signal. They'll just find each other. So she had more of a social circle than I did, and Flesh and Blood kind of gave me that, right? Which is awesome, and I think so. I'm not really. I'm looking for. I want to win something because I've never have, and I've never played a competitive hobby, so it'd be awesome to do that. But just getting together with cool people is really the goal, and kind of achieved that, right? And for the community, because I got that out of the community, I kind of want to open that up to other people. And I want to be able to show people what this community is. And we talked about where the game is going and that the community may fracture. And the more people that you get in, the more people you will have, which you may not be the people that you want in the community, right? Let's just say it like that. You know, people who don't behave in a way that you want the community to represent itself. So at the moment, for instance, what I love about Flesh and Blood is how inclusive it is, right? It doesn't matter what gender you are, it doesn't matter what nationality you have. It's very, very welcoming, and I've always marveled at how many queer people there are in the community, how many transgender people there are in the community, and nobody bats an eye. Like, nobody gives a crap, right? It's like, we're just all here for this shared love of Flesh and Blood, and of course you could dig out the one odd example here or there, but all in all, it's like, it doesn't matter, right? And I love that it's about the community, and I think this is actually amazing, considering that we are a bunch of nerds, and nerds tend to be awkward, especially socially, and that we can come together like this and just kind of not care about that is amazing. And I just want to, I want that for a community, and I want it to be there for a long time, that people can feel to be part of this. And it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter how old you are or how you identify, or, you know, what language you speak. You can be part of this community, you can share in this fun. And I think for that reason, it's also important that we maybe find a format which is not hyper competitive. So maybe, you know, that's why I really liked the gem packs, because you can now go to an armory, you get a participation prize, there's something good in there, and you don't have to win every single game to get something good. Like in the past, I'd go to an armory, and like, if you lose your second game, you basically, why am I still here, right? Because I'm not going to win, so why am I still here? Now you can be like, you know what? I'm just going to be here, have fun, jam some games, and have a good time, right? And some people don't like that. I do. And I think it's good, because at armory level, it's supposed to be social, in my opinion. It's not supposed to be competitive. If you want to play competitive, if you want to grind, there's plenty of options out there. And like the circus, the competitive circus is non-stop these days. Right? You can always go to a battle hardened. There's always a calling. There's always an RTN season, or a Proca season, or a skirmish season even. You can get that fix if you want. Right? Go to your armory, have fun with people that enjoy your hobby with you, and I want that to stay as long as it can. That's kind of what I want for the community.
Really cool. I'm going to cheat here. I'll add this quick run on sense. So is that why you got into Flesh and Blood? Because I know this is your first TCG. Is that so? Actually, maybe I can answer that one. So maybe that, I don't think that's what attracted to you, Flesh and Blood, because you probably don't know much about the community, much about the TCG, until you're actually in the community. So what kind of got you into Flesh and Blood? Because this is your very first TCG, you said, right?
I don't know. I just really love the game. I just really enjoy playing it. So for a few years before the TCG, we really got into board games and really enjoyed those as well. But Flesh and Blood is just, at the face of it, like, ignore the trading card aspect. The game part is really, really good. It's just awesome. And I think it's more just wanting to play more games of this awesome game. I think that was the primary driver. And the armory was literally 2 walking minutes from where I lived. Right? There was no excuse for me not to go on a Wednesday, go to a pub, play a few games, get out of the house, and just play an awesome game for 3 hours, right? It's like, it was so easy to do. I think if I have to travel for an hour to get there, I probably maybe would have never gotten into it. But there's really no excuse, right? Like, even if you feel tired or maybe not 100%. There's, it's like, hey, if I don't feel well, I'll just play a game and go home. Like, what do I lose? Right.
It
So
started
yeah.
with convenience. It kept you because of the experience and expanded into kind of everything you learned after. Is what it
Yes.
sounds like. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's just awesome in every aspect. If it weren't for Fab, I would not have friends locally. Exactly that, right? I think that's very much it for me as well. And that's why, if I can just expand on this, I know I'm going on a ramble here, but I think
No,
that's
that's why we're here
why
talking. Yeah, go for it.
it's so hard for TCGs to get players from other TCGs, because now I'm talking about this, and I've been in the game for what, 4 or 5 years. Now imagine you've been in Magic the Gathering for 25 years, and then deciding that you're going to leave your friend group that you've created and that you've been part of, the social circle you've been part of for 25 years, for another game. New people, new game. It's so hard. And that's why I think Flesh and Blood is doing this the right way. LSS, they're not going after those people because you're not going to get them. Like, you're going to get some. But if you focus on getting players from other TCGs, then you're never going to be successful. And that's why I think the game will be successful, because it's not just an IP with a mediocre game under it. It's actually a fantastic game. So somebody, like from board games that may actually never have thought about playing TCGs, tries it out, is like, hey, this is actually a really awesome game. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually going to comment on that too. So
Yes, do for it.
that's actually a very good thought that I haven't considered before. So because I have friends that still do Commander. There's a group, for
Yes.
those that don't know, I do Buffer LARP, which is a live action role play full contact sport. So it uses real armor, real Renaissance clothing, real like leather plates, like you've seen like the medieval times. But the weapons are fake. So the weapons are made of like a foam style. So they're meant for a full contact sport. So there are people that are part of that game that do play Commander that I'm very close friends with, and I still great friends with them, but I don't really play Commander with them, primarily just for the convenience of drive. But beyond that context, I do have friends that I do communicate with frequently that are part of my fighting group, part of other Magic the Gathering Commander groups that I drive out to go play with. Even in my hometown, I'm only literally a less than an hour drive. I'm like a 2-3 minute drive from a local shop that does not have Flesh and Blood, by the way, but does do Commander nights frequently. And there's easily an average of 4 to 8 people that comes out every Commander night on Wednesday. So why am I doing Flesh and Blood over like Commander night? Because I've had friends that's been in Commander, and I've created new friends in Flesh and Blood, which is always good. But what's kind of swayed me away from playing with my friends in Commander and just going with these people I've never known to try with Flesh and Blood? And I think for myself, I think it's something I needed, because Magic does have bubbles and communities that are good, but I think I've done it because they're with friends and people that are already known, but they'd never met my, what's what I'm looking for? My need that I needed for myself. So I've always gone
Yeah.
because, my friend's gone, and because I played a game that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But there were always moments of frustration. There were moments of, I wouldn't say conflict, but there was just parts of me that I did it because I was with my friends. I didn't do it because I wanted
Yeah.
it. But ever since I got into Flesh and Blood, there's two things that drives me Flesh and Blood. One is just I think the community is definitely number one, just like the community as a whole. But when I went to my armory, um, there was it wasn't because I was trying to satisfy my social involvement with people I've already known, and people that I've already known, but I was given the opportunity to fill parts that I needed in my social
Yeah.
experience, in my social time. And because I started with a clean slate into something new that was with the community that was very accepting, I think that's what kind of got me not just getting into, but staying into Flesh and Blood, because I didn't need to satisfy the condition of something I've had previously with a group of friends I've already known. Just because I won't say habit forming, but it does become habit forming, because when you're with the same people doing the same thing, it becomes routine. It becomes the same thing. Because I'm starting with a fresh slate with people I've never known. I've taken a step of I'm trying to fill parts of me that I needed for like my social life, and I think that's what really gravitated me to Flesh and Blood, because I am now not only enjoying the community, but I'm also doing something I enjoy by kind of giving back to the community in like the tri-state. So what I do is I'll try to buy like multiple cases. Of course, I get to keep stuff I enjoy for the card game, but I also kind of give back to like the tri-state, these people, and these people are very thankful, that they're able to, get stuff that they enjoy, because then they get to hang out with their friends and also enjoy Flesh and Blood, like all of us are
Yeah.
doing. So I think that's what kept me on Flesh and Blood. So yeah, I agree with what you were saying. It's even though you
Yeah.
have friends and you have friends that you've had in Magic, it's like, well, why did you kind of go away from them? You're not leaving them. You're just kind of taking care of yourself at that point. So I think that's what Flesh and
Yeah.
Blood did to me. Kind of let me take care of myself and not to satisfy those I've known for years.
Yeah. It's a really good answer as well.
Yeah. All right. What you got for
Um,
me? One more question. What you got for me?
I don't have any deep ones. I was really bad at this.
No, you're not bad at
Um,
it.
let me see. What? Okay, let me round this up with a simple question. What's the most overrated card in the game?
Most overrated card. Huh. I can't say Tunic because it's good.
No, it's in too many decks to say Tunic.
Yeah, I mean we're slowly starting to see Tunic replacements with the bloodstain or
Yeah.
blood splattered vest, and now with the Necromancer. Honestly, I don't want to go with price point. If I go with price point, I want to say Shelter right at the moment. But I think Shelter. And the only reason right now, and because I'm just going purely on price, Shelter serves a very niche role
Yes.
in it's a direct for 4, which both Fate Foreseen and Sink Blow both do. And there's even debatably, and it's been seen in many decks, that Shelter is not being played in more and more decks, such as like Gravy's not seeing them more, and we're starting to see other decks are not playing them. Decks that specifically care about ping damage, and this is focused on more like Assassin with Flick Knife. Shelter from the Storm does phenomenal against assassins that run Flick Knives.
Yes.
Other than that, and you can definitely prove me wrong because I am competitive to an extent, but I'm not very knowledgeable in the entire competitive environment. There's not many other scenarios that really cares about Shelter. They even go wide. Go wide doesn't matter because if they go wide, they're probably sending from 4 attacks. Shelter still gets a 4 value compared to stopping 3 different flicks. It doesn't. The price point doesn't matter. I think the price of Shelter is because of the expected demand and the availability of Shelter. I think it is overrated, and I think people are slowly seeing that it is a good card to hold in your playset in competitive scene, because if Mario is going to be in the competitive scene, which I personally think Mario is still very strong and is
Yes,
definitely going to
agreed.
still
Yeah.
see competitive Grieve in the foreseeable future. Shelter is going to be needed in that competitive scene, but other than that specific scenario against assassins or ninjas that want to flick knives, Shelter doesn't need to be a $90 card. I think it's overrated. I think it's overrated. I think it's just that because of the demand, so people are hyping over Shelter. I wanted to say Tunic, but Tunic still serves significant value for its purpose. And there's cards that are slowly replacing it for Necros and Ninja specifically. Even Assassins starting to use some Blood Splatter Vest right now. It has to be Shelter. I can't think of another one. I can't say CNC. I can't say E-Strike because there's not a card that's comparatively good to it.
For those
It
cards,
has
there's
to be
just no
Shelter.
replacement, right? It's like CNC is so in demand because there's no card that does what it does as well as it does it. It's like there's like Wreck Havoc and stuff like that, but it just doesn't come close with the
Yeah,
three
I'll even
block.
say Conquer, even like Conquered High C. Conquered High C is still an 8 go again. Like this is
Yeah,
a 2 resource more, and it's still a 8 go again CNC. But it misses the important text of you can't play D reacts. The fact that
yes,
CNC, Arcane CNC, shuts down an entire card pool from being used against it is why is why it's extremely valuable. And this being a pirate card, if this was generic, I still think it would be at the same price point. Maybe it'll be like $10 more. I don't think this would be
yeah,
used as much, even if it was generic, because, well, you know what? No, I recant that comment. Guardian would love this card, but other than that, I don't see the card being used too much, just because the direct. I mean, the 8 attack ceiling does make it really hard to block, but it doesn't replace CNC because if you have a D-React in Arsenal, you can still D-React the CNC, and it doesn't destroy anything. It just deals 4 damage.
yeah.
Against a CNC, if you don't want to give up your hand, you're forfeiting usually 6 damage, and you're forfeiting your Arsenal, so you're going to get significantly more value even off of CNC than the high in CC and Conquer card. So it's incomparable. Same with E-Strike. E-Strike is still not being played as much compared to it used to be. It's very used in specific decks for filtering or cycling. Closest card to compare it to would be like Levels of Enlightenment, but that's a Mystic specific card. So Levels, I think, is still very strong. E-Strike's still very strong. CNC strong. Conquer's very strong, but they all are kind of their own bubble. Shelter may
Yeah.
use in any deck, but I don't think it needs to be $90. I foresee it, like, I can promise you, if Mario and Slippy were not in the format, I promise you Shelter would have dropped down to like $40 or even less, even though it's a Majestic, just because it's really only needed in those two. I mean, Syndra too, but I don't think it needs to be $100.
Fully agreed. Fully agreed. It's a card that I had in mind as well. Like I've always felt like it's good, but sometimes you'd rather have a sink to fix your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Fate Foreseen to know what's on the top of your deck, right? So I'm pretty sure if Gravy were to play one of these, Gravy would prefer Fate Foreseen to, for that opt. But
Yep. Favor Scene, even Sync Blow too, because Favor Scene and Sync Blow is kind of the same thing. I think Sync Blow would be a little more valued because Favor Scene is okay. You look at the top,
yeah,
and then you have to make the active decision of, oh, this is something I want. Let me Gravy, which I have to destroy a gold to draw a card, discard a card. Well, Favor Scene's kind of the same thing, but it doesn't cost a gold, but it doesn't put in a card in the graveyard. But you're not proactively doing anything during the opponent's turn to summon allies. If you put, I mean, it does put an ally in the graveyard for like future turns, but it costs you gold. Like Fate Foreseen does the same thing, but it doesn't put in the graveyard and it doesn't cost you gold. So I think Fate Foreseen is slightly more valued because it gives you a potential block card on the longer chain. But yeah, both of them are. But the point is, yeah, I agree with you. Fate Foreseen and Sync Blow are both, I think, much more valuable than Shelter in Gravy's deck. And I think in more and more decks, if they're not worried about Assassin, they're not going to run Shelter.
yep, exactly. All right, I think that's it for today. But yeah, you said you wanted to play against me. I'm going to Montreal, so for the next set, maybe you can make the world
Are
premiere.
you? Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean,
I
that's
will
not that
be.
far for you, I
Yeah,
believe.
I'll definitely check it. I know the official the event I'll definitely be at. I'll be at Baltimore in October, 100% because I live
Yeah.
in Maryland. So that is just an hour drive from me. So I will be in Baltimore in October. I will 100% be at Worlds in Philly, PA, because Philly, PA is only a 3-hour drive from me. So those events I will 100% be at. Uh, must be nice. Yeah, you're right. It's nice. After having that, not being able to drive to Las Vegas and not having to go to, Tokyo to want to be able to see, Worlds before, like, I, I'm happy it's on the East Coast. So we anticipated it was going to be on the East Coast because there was no major events that was in the East Coast in the US for this year. So I think we predicted it was going to be somewhere on the East Coast because seeing like Las Vegas and Nats and no major events on the East Coast. So I'm very happy to see Worlds on the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be good. Cool. Anyway, Dot, you're saying you're still questioning if you want to go, depending what the set is. Yeah, but I'm making it a trip, right? I'm going there with my partner. We're gonna make it a 10-day vacation, and I always loved Montreal, so yeah, we're gonna go anyway. I pray for Brute. I pray for Brute. A couple more weeks, and then we should know. I think they're probably gonna tell us. I would hazard at the Pro Tour Singapore. That's where probably they'll unveil the new set, I would say.
I assume in your international travel because you speak French, or you have some experience in French. Have you been to Quebec? I haven't been to Quebec,
I
and it's
have.
actually a place I would like to. Oh, you have?
When I
Okay.
was when I was a teenager, I went to Montreal for a few months to learn French. I learned a lot of things there. I didn't learn a lot of French, but I learned a lot of things. I'm not going to go
That's
into
pretty.
more detail, but it was a very forming 3 months.
And for 3 months with 3 people, that's all I'm gonna say.
Uh, no, I love Montreal. It's a great city. But you don't need to speak French because as soon as they notice that you're not a francophone, then they'll just speak English to you. It's fine.
It's a
It's
Canadian mentality.
only when you go up to Quebec, then they're like, no, you better speak French. But yeah, should be good. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my rum because why not? But Pockets was or um Bradley. It's great fun. Thank you for joining me for this once again. You have no more product, right? This was it.
I'm out. Yeah. Actually,
Ah,
yeah. So I know we're coming close. You have 12. So my time, you have technically 20 minutes until you resolve your stream. Pretty sure you're getting tired and maybe borderline drunk, so you probably want to end it very soon. So
yeah, and
we.
also considering this is an off day for me, and
Oh, that's true. That's right. This is your normal non-day stream. That's true. Yeah,
yeah,
actually, very short story. I'll keep it short. I promise.
do it.
I had 10 cases. I did open the cases on stream. Once you open so much, you kind of get in the groove of opening everything.
Yeah.
I opened up 10 cases. I wake up the next morning and I realize, I won't curse. I realize, crap. I was supposed to keep 2 boxes for Simon's stream. I already opened everything. I end up calling like 8 different stores trying to look for product. I found one that was like an hour and a half drive away. They told me the boxes were basically $5 a pack. It was $120 for a
Yeah.
USD for a box. Long story short, I think the manager was money hungry. He was not there. He had to his employee had to message him through Discord. As soon as I got there, I was like, sell it to him for 140. I was like, you bastard, you money hungry mongrel. So I end up buying a few more boxes for that because I wasn't going to argue it. Thankfully, the
Yeah.
employees kind of felt bad, so they cut me a little discount. But it was still a little more than 120, but it was less than 140.
Yeah.
So I just bought a sealed case. I end up opening up 2 more boxes to see if I got something. Got nothing out of 2 boxes, and this is the result of the last 2 boxes. So yeah, I made a not but I was able to find a case, so that's where these 2 boxes came from.
All right. Well, sometimes you just get in the group of opening things, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this case did not pay for itself. I mean, the Conqueror was nice, but otherwise, yeah.
You got the
You,
riches.
you get a marble, right? So it's not terrible.
Yeah, for mine, no. But I don't remember what I opened in the first few packs. They were
Yeah.
nothing. The treasure packs were nothing. I mean, that's fine. So this box by itself was nothing. I think the Conqueror was the best card out of the entire case, or maybe the Scuba. I don't know. I think the Conqueror's still more, but I still did well. So the good news is
Yeah.
I got to keep. I get to keep cards for my Gravy deck. I mean, the Gravy is still rocking everything I need because I already owned an Ophidia. I did get a Riches out of the
Yeah.
10 cases. I don't own Undying Amulet. I think they're still bouncing around 60 to 70 USD right now. So it's kind of going up. I will have to probably, if I go in a competitive event, I'll probably have to fork out the money and buy a damn diamond. But I got everything else. I'm happy. I broke fairly even with everything, and I still have out of stuff I need to buy or stuff I need to sell. No one's bought it yet, but I still have some higher
Y-
rarity stuff. I think like the dead threads. I still have like the rainbow foil. I mean, so just to show you, there's still Conquerors sitting in there,
Yeah, that
which I'm.
looks good.
And then I still have some death threads. I did
Yeah.
still have the cold foil
Oh,
one. So I think so.
yeah.
Once this death thread sells,
Yeah.
um, and maybe like an extra $100, then at that point I break even. So I cannot complain. I'm definitely broke
Good.
even. I got
Good.
to keep my gravy stuff. This box was poo poo, or this case was poo poo. I'm glad to see your box is successful because I think I was successful overall because I was able to break average. But the fact that you
Yeah.
broke all that in a single case, I am happy for you. 'Cause you
I mean, if
definitely
you
made your money's worth.
if you go for 11 cases, it's much easier to break even, right? If you
Yeah.
get 1 or 2 cases, it's a crap shot, and maybe yes, maybe no. But yeah, the higher the volume, the higher the chance that you're gonna come out, even if not
Yeah.
top.
Yeah, the more, and I don't encourage this for people that can't afford it, but people that are in the
Yeah,
TCG,
yeah,
if you have money that you want to pay for your hobby, if you have money, this is pockets as tip. If you have money to invest in a TCG, if your intent is to open stuff, to crack it, to also sell, you find a number that works. Like my number that
yeah.
works is like 10 to 15. So 10 to 15 cases. This is kind of exception. High C's inconsistency kind of definitely hurt a little, but thankfully I think I can break even. Um, the more you buy, the more variable you remove is the best way I can
Yes,
explain it. And because
yes,
you remove variable, you can usually break even. You get to keep the cards that you want and you get to kind of break even. Now there is work that goes into it. So I have a TCG player built up. I do sell to the tri-state. So there's work and effort that goes into it. Um, but I would not recommend just to crack stuff to sell to make a profit. If you want to crack stuff because you enjoy it and because you enjoy the TCG, do that, but don't do it expecting to make a profit because the only way you're going to is if you have a clientele, if you have a platform, and if you have enough product to open, which is why min-max gaming does well, which is why Righteous does well because they have clientele and they can afford
yeah,
those
yeah,
volumes because they can cut out the variable. So just my 2 cents. And if you're ever
yeah.
going
Makes
to
sense.
buy into
So,
TCG.
I mean, the more you buy, the more the odds are in your favor, and you work towards the math, right? It's
Yep.
just like if you have if you have a rate of opening up one legendary per case on average, the more you buy, the closer you will get to that average. That's just how math works.
Yep.
So yeah,
Actually, and Burst's comments, so Burst said I broke even on my case and his pools were above rate. Yeah, because I think he sent me a few pictures like your pools was way above rate. And even then you
yeah, yeah.
broke even. So if
He got
you,
the chess piece and the conqueror, right? So yeah,
yeah, he got like really good pools. And the fact that he pooled really good, but he broke even kind of tells you, the only reason he broke even is because he was lucky.
yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
Daughter
if you
saying
just want
he,
to open stuff because you enjoy it, do it because you enjoy it. Don't do it because you're
yeah,
trying to make
yeah.
money.
I do it because chat demands it. So I have no choice, right? It's like I do this for entertainment value. It's like in no way am I opening up packs because I am addicted to it or I want. It's like no, this is like a business expense.
Actually, it's another good point. I do use this as a business expenses because I do have a TCG player. It is
Yeah,
a independent business, so anything I buy is 100% a tax write off. because I don't keep a lot of
Yeah.
it. I sell it, so it is a tax write-off. That is a legal advice for those that are trying to buy stuff. If you're trying to resell stuff in volume, you can use it as a tax write-off. That is all
Yeah.
legal in the U.S. I can't speak for UK, but that is a
Mm.
U.S. standard.
So I haven't actually looked into it that much, but I think because at the end of the day, like I get, thanks to you guys, I get a little bit of something sent by Twitch every now and then, right? It's like it's pocket money at the end of the day, and nothing compared to the money that I spend on product. But I mean, it's not. I don't expect anything. It's every time it was like, wait, what? Twitch sent me money. But until I reach a certain threshold, it's tax free. And without looking into it more, I would expect that if the income through that second thing that I do is tax free, I also wouldn't get like anything back by claiming this as a, as a business expense. So it's like, well, you're not making enough money for us to tax it, so why are you asking for? Yeah, I haven't looked into it too much, to be honest, but yeah. But I'm not selling in a big style, right? I'm just opening it, and yeah. You mean being here and talking shit does something? I mean, you're here every single day, so apparently it does something.
I was waiting for a follow-up. I wasn't going to say anything.
No, I played the badum sound.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
No, you can't hear it. Dodge, you're saying you need a third gold foil conqueror, so you have two gold foil conquerors. I don't know why you're sad about that.
Yeah,
Because that feels very good.
Yeah, Dalt's opening was it wasn't Dalt, it was Aaron's opening. Aaron, I think, got and Dalt can confirm or correct it. I was there on Discord watching Aaron's openings. I think he got a cold foil, death thread, and a conqueror. I believe he did something crazy. But yeah, so Dalt bought Aaron's gold foil conqueror, and I think Dalt's still looking for a third one. I don't have a new sell. I mean, there's a loan shark. You say you need a loan shark. I finally got another one. I have my own playset, couldn't sell any because I just didn't have any to sell. So gold thread, death thread, and gold coil. Yeah, it was the gold foil and the gold foil death thread. That's right. You did something crazy, and then
it's pretty good.
And then you were salty about it.
We had we did draft at the army yesterday, and the gold packs were raffled away. Somebody opened up a cold foil death threats as well, which is amazing, really especially because he's a pretty new player. So it's always great to see new players pull good stuff.
Yeah, and that keeps players too. Like that gambler's high definitely keeps players. You know what it is.
You gotta chase that high forever.
Yeah. Chase that high forever. It's like, man, I don't get that same feeling I had last year. I need it again. This set, this was, the high on the gold packs was fun. I do if anyone from LSS listens to this or watches the video later, don't do treasure packs again. I'm sorry. They're okay, but so the treasure packs felt good, but the set felt bad. The pulls felt bad. I didn't feel like there was any strong pulls, and maybe that's just me. This is me and two other people I'm talking to. That's opened up a lot of product. If I wanted to just make money, like safe money, I don't know how much gold packs are going for right now. During release weekend, people are buying treasure packs for like $30 a pack. Maybe it's going down, it's going up. I opened up 40 boxes. I could have made $1,200 just selling the gold packs. Like, and I did the math. The only way, and even me opening up, what were the big bets? I opened up 3 cold foil dead threads and 2 marble harpoons, and I still didn't make the money if I just sold the packs raw.
Yeah.
It's scary to take the chase collector card to isolate it in a pack that can be picked by an individual, and the remaining of the packs still retain their value, but then the pulls are, I don't say mediocre, they're just not the same compared to like pulling other cases I've done with Flesh and Blood. Because if I had no gold packs to open, what am I looking for? Riches.
Yeah.
Then Dead Thread. Maybe Poly. And then that's it. Like nothing really chases at that. Like nothing, there's no incentive to open anything other than I just trade on the secondary market at that point. Like the packs lose. I think these packs, if you buy like high seas packs in the future, I think they're going to quickly lose value. But the treasure packs are going to retain until all of the James White treasures are pulled. Then I think the treasure packs will go down in price.
Yeah. I think what you're saying is a common consensus from what I've seen as well. I like the general idea of these packs. I think how they did it in Part of Mistvale I like better, where it's like an extra pull in addition to everything else that's in the set. What I don't like is two things. First of all, the cold foils are only in the treasure packs. I feel like that does take away from the excitement of opening up a pack and what you're potentially able to find.
100%.
And the second one is it just encourages scummy practices on the side of LGS and big retailers, right? And while I understand that, if you're min-max and you open up, I don't know, 1,000 boxes, right? Of course you're going to open up 1,000 gold packs, right? Of course you're going to do that because you're a business and that's where the money is. So you're trying to get the money to sell. But it just feels bad when James White puts a signed card into those packs and like a big min-max opens that up and it's like, yeah, you just took that away from the community. It's like, I get it. Of course you're going to do that, but it just feels bad. Like, yeah, it's just like, I don't think that was the intention, but obviously that's what's going to happen. And I found, like, what I heard from US Nationals, that you couldn't buy a box even if you pulled your tickets with your friends. It's like, what is that about? Like, why?
Really?
Like,
I didn't
I don't
know
know
that.
where
Shit.
that rule comes from, but you could buy max of 6 tickets packs, and I think they were selling. Don't quote me on this. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they sold gold packs separately for tickets. I was like, why can't you buy a box if you pull the tickets enough for a box? Like, that feels weird and scummy.
Yeah, that's a red flag on at least in my mind. That's a good indicator then, because if they're selling gold packs, if LSS planned events are doing this, then that kind of tells me that they know the value of these gold packs, so they didn't want to sell these because either they had to up the boxes of these high Cs to a number that people are not going to buy it, or they had to remove the gold packs for to make the packs or the boxes of lesser value. So that's a very interesting. I didn't know that. Actually, on top of that too, so yeah, if they make the next set, just make the next set. If they made the next set the same structure where there's a treasure pack, or let's say gold pack, they made a gold pack which is with the box. Just make it where you can still pull the cold foils in the box.
Yes.
I think that would be a nice consensus that everyone agree on. Make the treasure packs a valuable pack where you're guaranteed a unique art style. For high seas, it is a gold pack because it features like the golden set.
Yes.
Maybe in the and this kind of can go into what I was saying earlier when you asked me the question, what's something like the C and Fab alt arts. If Monarch 3 came out and there was a shadow pack or a library pack, whatever you want to call it, that special pack introduced an alt art of a card that already existed, but it didn't remove the chances of getting a cold foil in the 24 packs that you got. I think that would be cool. And if they continued like Death Thread, I'll use the cold foil Death Thread, make cold foil Death Thread and the other cold foil legendary equipment, make it available in the main set, but also keep it available in the treasure pack, because it would feel good. Because even if you didn't pull cold foil Death Thread, it doesn't have to be an alt art. But if I pulled a cold foil Death Thread in the treasure pack, but I knew it was still available in the 24, that would make me excited. I didn't feel excited opening up non-treasure packs because I knew what I was not getting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. I had nothing more to add really. Maybe just I forgot that the old art, extended art, Nimbulism is in the gem pack, and when I opened that's such a cool card. Like, I love that card. It's like the art is awesome. It's extended art. It's foil. Like, put stuff like that in. If you want to do like special packs in the boxes, put stuff like that in there, and people
Yeah.
will feel very hype about opening that. You know, make it a majestic or whatever. Maybe that's where your reprint cards go, right? But
Yeah, and they've
yeah,
already
it,
extended
it,
that.
it needs
So
refining. But
yeah, and
yeah,
even for the sync blows that came the special um the British sync blow that they printed for the special events, they extended that alt art option to just not a special event where you just have to get this, this full alt art in a special event. You now get them the gem pack, just like you said with the
yeah,
Nimblism. If they expanded that opportunity into these unique gold packs or whatever you want to call them for the theme of the set, that would be I think that would be a big win in LSS because people will, as long as there's no allocation and printing issues coming in the next set, I think that would be a huge success with the next set if they decide to expand these alt art options into the next set in a unique pack, which um,
yeah.
which would be identifiable from the 24.
So just before we end the stream, one more hot take from me.
Sure.
I feel like LSS feels the need to do something new in every single set. I feel like they have a need to innovate in every single set and do something different. My opinion, you don't have to do something new in every single set. If you find a model that works, stick with it. Like you don't have to introduce gold packs and treasure packs and marvels. Like if you find a model that works, just stick with it. My hot take. Like, yeah, new stuff is interesting, but it could backfire, right? If you find something that works, stick with it. Maybe I'm boring, but yeah.
I'm going to expand on that. Yes.
But
So, no, not but. I agree with you. And I think I'm going to compare High Seas to Miss Vale. Miss Vale introduced not only just a golden pack. I'm going to just exclude the golden pack. Let's just say the golden pack did not exist, okay?
yes.
Because it was a cool idea. I don't think it was. It was fun, but when people knew the context of it, and it was not a wide possibility. It was just a chance of, hey, there's a 99.9% chance you're just going to get these, and there's a 0.01 that you're
Yes.
going to get
Yeah.
this. The fun of it kind of went away very quickly. Let's just minus that. The design of Miss Vale was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The gameplay of, I'm not talking limited draft, but just the design of like how the chi works and how it works
Yeah.
into the heroes is phenomenal. So I would love to see LSS to continue unique designs, but they don't need to go too wide on the structure on how people receive cards, if that makes sense. So they went on this path of high seas of let's remove the cold foil because we want to give value to the treasure pack. I don't like that. They went too wide and too experimental with that, which I think in months to come, there's going to be talk about high seas of how it was a very successful limited draft set, but was a very unsuccessful set when it comes to pulling what you want. The variables were just too high. People that has pulled enough product. There were chase cards that were just too expensive. And this is beyond like the Marvel. I'm not even talking about the Marvel amulets. I'm talking about just general majestics. So I'm seeing across the board. I believe Lone Shark was intentionally short printed. I know
Yeah.
Midas was intentionally short printed, but just weird ones like whalers are just for some reason like kind of hard to find. Gold the Tip, which is a ranger card, which is not even being used, apparently is very hard to find. There's these weird one-offs of majestics that are just hard to find. But on top of that, you're removing incentivization, if that's an actual English word, um, of cold foils being removed from the 24 and being plugged into these gold packs. Now you're removing this people to be incentivized to fetch for these higher cards. And even the majestics they're better than Rosetta Majestics. I'm sorry, Majestic Marvel. High Seas Marvels are better than Rosetta Marvels, but if the chase cards are 2 or 3 of like a dozen marbles that exist in the set, and the chase card is either the richest fable or the dead thread, and the majority just doesn't care, you don't have a successful or an enjoyable opening of this new product when people are just doing it just for the treasure packs, which people are spending, 25+% of MSRP just for the treasure pack alone. That doesn't tell me it's a successful pack. It's successful in limited, but it's not successful in trying to open stuff to either use or resell.
Yeah.
So yeah,
To
so basically to comment on to follow up on yours, the success is in the game mechanic design. I want them to continue to
yes.
expand and to experiment with the game design, but don't experiment with people's money
Yeah.
of something being valuable.
Yes, that's a good clarification, right? So I think the macro experiment that they're doing here is awesome. And I think basically they can introduce with that, you turn that format into, you can basically turn it into anything. Like from this point on, there's no limits. It can be a completely different game. But yeah, I think also to expand a little bit more on that, I think the set is very hyped at the moment because because of the new hero, because of the new class. But I don't think this is a set that will sell well in a year. I don't think this is a set that people will say, let me get a box of high seas because I want to crack some packs. Because even when I go to the LGS now, I get the hunted. Why? Because Command and Conquer and because of Shelter. Right? Of course, because I feel like if you are not interested in playing a pirate hero at the moment, what incentive is there for you to open these packs? None really. I mean, yeah, maybe a Codex, but Codex is not a Command and Conquer. So if you just want to crack packs, you want to gamble on 3 packs to see if you get something good, I don't think this will be the set that you crack. You maybe buy a box because you want to play sealed or draft with your friends, and that's awesome. But you're not going to buy packs because you're hoping for a lucky hit. That's why I don't think it'll be Fabled. Yeah, no, Fabled. You're right. First time chatter. Welcome to the stream. Not that you are okay. You're correct with the Fabled, but I mean the Fabled is so hard to hit. He says after hitting one today, but but it is so hard to hit that if you buy like a random packet in an LGS, it's very unlikely that you're gonna get it, right? So I think personally that it's like maybe this is hard to get set because LSS knows that yes, it's gonna sell hot now, but eventually when it sits on the shelves, it's gonna be very hard. Well, you got a 2 today, Zom. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think the value will retain because of Rich's maybe Conquer, but TCG player is very well stocked on Conquer, so it seems like Conquer was a gold pull rate. So I don't think Conquer's. Part of me wants to say Conquer may go up to like $60.
But it's a pirate card.
Right? It is. It's a pirate card.
It's like, which is fine, but if a pirate hero is not meta, then nobody cares.
So my hot take is only Gravy's good right now. That's what we see right now. We don't see Puffin, we don't see Marlin. Yeah. Gravy's the only one that's good. If down the line, because meta always change, a few months down the raid, let's see that Puffin likes Conquer and Puffin becomes meta. Or the other Marlin. I think Marlin will more likely use Conquer over Puffin. Let's say Marlin just somehow down the line is really good in a specific deck and wants to run Conquer because she likes to run very heavy blue harpoons. True. So if Marlin somehow becomes meta, Conquer goes up in price because now we have 2 of the 3 pirate heroes that wants to use the card. The only reason Conquer is selling right now is because people in a non-meta environment wants to play Puffin and Marlin if they use Conquer. I don't think Puffin's using Conquer. Don't quote me on that. But I'm very confident Marlin wants to use Conquer because she's a very, very heavy harpoon blue build. if Marlin became somewhat meta, then Conqueror would go up in time as long as Gravy is staying up in the meta. And I always go back to this is a player driven market, and the only reason Conqueror is about $40 is because only Gravy of the 3 heroes wants to play it. If you get 2 of the 3 heroes, I'm confident Conqueror will go up to $60+. So other than that, if the heroes are not meta, the only cards that are going to potentially, and this is like in the foreseeable future, that's going to keep the set up to float in price 100% is Riches. Riches because it's a generic fable.
Yeah.
People want to
Yeah.
get their one, plug into their binder because they ever need it. If I'm going with the other generic fables, Arcane Compliance, if Kano becomes significantly more relevant, even Sea Lakes is fairly cheap, but if for some reason a new brute comes in the foreseeable future, well, then you have this dilemma that we have with Mistveil. Mistveil has 2 of the 3 heroes that are LL'd, and what's the card that's really solid on Mistveil? It's Weakest Link. People don't want to buy Mistveil because 2 of the 3 heroes are LL'd, but people want Weakest Link.
Yeah.
Sea Legs, it doesn't fit the same power level as
No.
Weakest Link.
it
But
does not.
if for some reason Brute is in a new set and Brute is a contender, maybe it's a Necro Brute, whatever it is, if whatever Brute comes in the next set, you have fingers crossed for you, Simon, then this hero just skyrockets to the top. What cards are going to go up? Sea Legs is a generic and it's a strong Brute contender, and then all these other Brute cards. It is a player-driven market. And if the only hero in High Seas is Gravy, and the cards are not selling well because you don't have these
Yeah.
chase cards in the set, well, then cards like Sea Lakes, which is a generic Majestic, can potentially go up. Is it going to? Don't know, because I am not a competitive player, but I'm just looking at just general potential and how the meta can change like 6 months or 12 months with every new set. Because every new set, we don't know what's going to come up. Only LSS really knows what's going to happen. So Sea Lakes is a phenomenal card in Brute. But Brute is not meta at all. But if a new Brute comes out, Sea Lakes becomes very valuable. And
Well-
people don't want to buy High Seas because
Well,
it
there-
doesn't have anything to chase.
There's a caveat to that, right?
Sure.
We discussed about an hour ago saying they're gonna need to print a new Reiner because Intimidate is broken. Basically, TLDR. What if discarding cards is not part of the Brute identity anymore? Then you don't care. Because they may have to change, if a new Brute comes out, they may have to change the identity of how the class works, because otherwise they're never going to be able to fix it. So maybe not. And then yes, I agree. Sea Legs, but there's a lot of ifs there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to cut us off here because I need to take the dog out.
I'm pretty sure she's dancing around, so I don't want to hold it too much longer.
He's barking.
Or he, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. Thank you very much for joining again, Pockets. I look forward to doing this when we see the next set.
Hopefully it's a
Um,
Brute set. Hopefully we'll be able to celebrate
that-
your Brute, your dedication to the Brute gods will be happy once the new set comes out.
No, I said to myself a week ago, I'm going to want to spend less money on Flesh and Blood. But LSS, print a Brute set and you will financially ruin me. I will throw my savings at you. But yeah, anyway.
as long as you have the play sets, look, keep your
Yeah,
equipment.
yeah.
Don't give up on Brute entirely. Just keep your play sets, man. And if Brute ever becomes good, you're going to see that stuff skyrocket. But don't give up on Brute. Just keep on the side. You know what? Be complacent with Fi and Syndra. That's fine. But don't get rid of your Brute stuff.
No,
You'll
I will
regret it
never.
if Brute ever. Okay, good.
I'm
you're fine.
I'm testing KO on Driner off stream. Like,
That's the one
I'm-
you're potentially doing in competitive soon, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have nationals coming up in 2 weeks, and I don't know what I'm playing. We'll see.
Grind out some
Maybe-
games in. I know
If
you're
I
talking
co-
about more on your stream, but if you decide to, once you're done, once you're taking your break, hey, if you decide grind out some games, figure it out during your break.
Will do. All right. Thank you very much for being here today. Thanks for watching, everyone, and hearing us ramble. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you're new here, you haven't hit that button yet, you know what to do. Like, follow, subscribe, all that jazz. But I'll be back on Monday with the usual stream. I'm not going on vacation yet. So hopefully see you then. Same place, same time. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye all.
Take care.